My child, stop scrolling. This is not random, and it is not light. Your life's biggest sign is here, and if you brush past this moment, you may miss what you have been asking me for in private. I have watched you wrestle with doubt, wait through delay, and question whether I was still guiding you. Now I am speaking directly into your uncertainty. Stay with me. Do not treat this like background noise. Let every word land. What I am about to uncover will confront your fear, expose what has been holding you back, and confirm what your spirit has been sensing. Listen closely. Lean in. By the end of this, you will not be able to say you were not warned, or that you were not invited. My child, I want you to settle into this moment with me. I am not rushing you, and I am not trying to overwhelm you. I am simply asking you to notice what just happened. You pause. Out of all the noise surrounding your life, out of all the things pulling at your attention, you stopped here. You might think it was small, almost accidental. But you and I both know there was something deeper that caused you to linger. There was a quiet pull inside you, a subtle awareness that this was not just another message passing by. That stirring you felt was not random. It was me reaching for you in a way that felt gentle enough for your heart to receive. You have asked me for clarity before. Maybe not always with formal words. Sometimes it was just the weight in your chest when you were alone. Sometimes it was the frustration you felt when things did not move the way you hoped. You have wondered if I still see you in the middle of your routine, in the middle of your responsibilities, in the middle of your disappointments. And here you are, reading this, feeling something you cannot quite explain. That is not coincidence. You did not stumble here without reason. I have been aware of you every step of the way, even when you assumed I was quiet. I have watched you move through your days carrying more than you admit. I have seen the way you keep going even when you are unsure of the direction. I have seen the questions you never fully formed into prayers. And I chose this moment because your heart is open enough right now to hear me. You may think you almost missed this. If you had scrolled faster, if you had been more distracted, if you had brushed aside that small inner nudge, you would have continued on without realizing I was trying to speak. But I know how to reach you. I know how to time my words in a way that meets you exactly where you are. You are not here by accident, and you are not here because you are desperate. You are here because somewhere inside, you still care about what I have to say about your life. That matters to me more than you understand. Right now, I want you to consider something gently. What if this is the sign you have been asking for, but in a form that feels quieter than you expected? You have been looking for something dramatic, something undeniable, something that would remove all doubt. Yet I often speak in ways that feel personal instead of loud. I care about your heart more than your need for spectacle. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not moving through this life unseen. I am closer to you than your own thoughts, and I have been guiding you even in seasons when you felt uncertain. You have wondered if your life is still on track. You have questioned whether you miss your moment somewhere along the way. You have compared yourself to timelines that do not belong to you. I have watched you wrestle with that pressure quietly, and I need you to understand something clearly. You have not missed your purpose. You have not stepped outside of my awareness. The fact that you are still searching, still caring, still willing to pause and listen tells me that your heart is very much alive. This moment is not about pressure. It is not about fear. It is about connection. I am not here to warn you that you almost lost everything. I am here to reassure you that you are exactly where you need to be for this next step. The sign you have been waiting for is not a dramatic interruption. It is this steady reminder that I am still involved in your story. I am still shaping you. I am still leading you forward, even when you cannot see the entire path. And if you stay with me in this conversation, you will begin to recognize that what you thought was an almost missed moment is actually a carefully placed turning point designed just for you. Take a breath with me. Let that truth settle. This is not random. This is not ordinary. This is personal. And it is only the beginning of what I want to show you. My child, stay with me. Lean in closer. You have carried questions inside you that you never fully formed into words. You have allowed them to echo quietly in the back of your mind while you continued living, working, smiling, trying. You have wondered whether you are too late, whether you took a wrong turn somewhere, whether you missed a door that was meant for you. You never said it exactly like that, but I heard it. I heard the late-night thoughts. I heard the silent comparisons. I heard the soft frustration when you looked at your life and thought it should look different by now. Let me speak into that place directly. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not drifting without direction. I need you to receive that. Not as a cliché, not as a comforting phrase, but as truth. You have been measuring your progress against people who were never given your path. You have been looking at timelines that were never written for your story. Stop doing that. Release the habit gently. It is stealing your peace without giving you clarity. You were designed with a specific rhythm, and your growth is unfolding in layers you cannot fully see yet. I want you to reflect honestly. When you compare yourself to others, what happens inside you? Your confidence tightens. Your gratitude shrinks. Your vision narrows. That is not from me. I do not guide you through pressure and panic. I guide you through patience and purpose. When you feel that quiet heaviness rising, pause. Ask yourself whose standard you are trying to satisfy. It is not mine. I do not rush you into becoming someone else's version of success. I am shaping you into who you were always meant to be. You have also questioned your worth more than you admit. You replay conversations. You analyze your choices. You revisit mistakes long after they have passed. You ask yourself if you disappointed me. I want you to listen carefully now. I do not relate to you through a list of your failures. I relate to you through love that remains steady. You are not on probation with me. You are not trying to earn your place. You belong to me already. Let that sink into you. Stop negotiating your identity. Stop assuming that one misstep erased your value. There is something else you rarely say out loud. You fear that your best years might already be behind you. You worry that you should feel more accomplished, more certain, more settled by now. That fear has whispered to you more than once. Do not let it control your thinking. Your life is not a straight line of visible milestones. It is a process of refinement, of quiet strengthening, of internal building. Some of your most important development has happened in seasons that looked unimpressive from the outside. I need you to do something for me. Take inventory not of what you lack, but of what you have endured. Look at the resilience inside you. Look at the wisdom you carry now compared to 5 years ago. Look at the boundaries you have learned to set. Look at the discernment that guides your decisions. That growth did not appear overnight. It came through discomfort, through delay, through discipline. You did not waste those years. They were shaping your foundation. I am not offended by your questions. I am not irritated by your doubt. I welcome your honesty. Bring your uncertainty to me instead of hiding it behind performance. Speak to me plainly. Tell me where you feel confused. Tell me where you feel insecure. I can handle your truth. What I do not want is for you to keep carrying silent assumptions that I have abandoned you. I have not. You want a sign that your life still holds meaning. You want reassurance that your path still leads somewhere intentional. Here is your confirmation. The very hunger you feel for purpose is evidence that I am still stirring you. If you were finished, you would not care. If your story were over, you would not feel this pull. The fact that you still desire alignment tells me your heart is very much alive. And I'll listen closely. Stop underestimating the season you are in. It may not look dramatic, but it is strategic. You are building strength in places that will matter later. You are developing character that will support what is coming. You are learning to stand without applause. That matters more than you know. Stay steady. Stay open. Keep walking with me. The questions you never spoke are not signs of failure. They are invitations into deeper trust. And I am right here, guiding you through them. You have felt the weight of waiting. Do not pretend you have not. There were things you prayed for that seemed reasonable, even necessary. Opportunities that felt aligned. Relationships that seemed promising. Breakthroughs that appeared close enough to touch. And then nothing happened. Or something closed unexpectedly. Or the timing shifted in a way that confused you. You tried to stay positive. You tried to remain patient. But inside, you wondered why progress felt so slow. I want you to understand something important. Delay is not neglect. Delay is not rejection. Delay is often protection wrapped in patience. You assume that if something does not arrive quickly, it must not be meant for you. That is not how I operate. I see layers you do not see. I see pressures you are not yet aware of. I see outcomes beyond the moment you are focused on. When I hold something back, it is not because I enjoy watching you wait. It is because I care about the version of you who will eventually receive it. Consider how you have changed over the past few years. You are more grounded now. You think more carefully. You discern motives more clearly. If certain doors had opened earlier, you might have stepped through them with enthusiasm but without the maturity to sustain what was behind them. I am not interested in giving you something you cannot carry well. I am interested in strengthening you so that when it arrives, you are ready. You have sometimes interpreted silence as absence. You assume that because you did not see movement, I must not be working. That assumption has caused you unnecessary anxiety. Behind scenes you cannot access, adjustments were happening. Alignments were forming. People were being positioned. Lessons were being integrated into your character. Just because you could not see visible change does not mean nothing was unfolding. I want you to release the idea that your timeline is the safest one. You think you know when you are ready. You often confuse desire with preparedness. I see the deeper layers. I see emotional capacity. I see hidden insecurities that need healing. I see habits that need refining. That work takes time. It is not glamorous. It does not attract applause. But it builds durability inside you. Here is something I need you to do right now. Stop interpreting delay as disapproval. Stop telling yourself that waiting means you failed. Waiting can be a workshop. It can be a refining room. It can be the quiet space where your confidence grows roots instead of chasing quick validation. You have grown more than you realized during this period of frustration. You have learned restraint. You have developed patience. You have discovered that your identity does not collapse when a plan shifts. That is strength. You did not collapse when doors closed. You adapted. You adjusted. You continued. That endurance is shaping your future more than any instant success ever could. I am not playing games with your destiny. I am not dangling promises to test your loyalty. I am cultivating depth in you. When something finally unfolds, you will handle it with steadiness instead of desperation. You will steward it instead of clinging to it. Listen to me carefully. What is delayed is not necessarily denied. What feels paused may actually be positioned. The door that did not open may have been too small for where you are headed. Trust that. Even when you cannot map it out logically, trust that I am not careless with your life. Breathe. Loosen your grip on outcomes. Keep preparing your heart. Keep refining your character. The delay that frustrated you is not the end of your story. It is part of the architecture of your becoming. I am still building something in you. Stay with me, and you will see why the timing mattered. My child, I want you to sit with me in this part of your story. Do not rush past it. Do not minimize it. You have walked through pain that changed you. It may not have been loud or dramatic to everyone else, but it marked you. Words spoken over you stayed longer than they should have. Rejection from someone you trusted cut deeper than you expected. A disappointment you tried to brush off kept returning to your thoughts. You told yourself you were fine. You kept functioning. You kept showing up. But something inside you shifted, and you quietly wondered whether that pain revealed something flawed about you. Let me speak clearly into that place. What happened to you was not proof of your inadequacy. It was not evidence that you were unworthy. You interpreted the wound as a verdict. You thought it exposed weakness. I saw something entirely different. I saw you stay soft when you could have turned cold. I saw you wrestle internally instead of exploding outward. I saw you question yourself instead of blaming everyone else. That kind of restraint, even when imperfect, reveals depth in you. It reveals a heart that still cares, that matters. You have replayed certain moments in your mind more than you admit. You have asked yourself if you should have spoken differently, acted faster, been stronger, been quieter, been wiser. That mental rewind has exhausted you. Stop punishing yourself with constant review. Release that loop. You cannot edit a memory into a different outcome. What you can do is allow it to refine you instead of define you. Let the lesson remain without carrying the shame. There is a difference. One builds maturity. The other builds insecurity. I want you to consider something honestly. When pain entered your life, did it destroy you? No. It unsettled you. It exposed you. It challenged you. But you are still here. You are still seeking. You are still open to growth. That tells me the pain did not own you. It shaped you. There is a quiet strength that developed inside you through that experience. You are more discerning now. You read situations more carefully. You trust more wisely. That is not damage. That is development. You have sometimes assumed that because something hurt deeply, it must have meant you were weak. That is not true. Sensitivity is not weakness. Caring is not weakness. Loving deeply is not weakness. The world may teach you to protect yourself with hardness, but I have not designed you that way. I would rather you learn boundaries than bitterness. I would rather you grow wisdom than grow walls. And you have been learning. Slowly, sometimes painfully, but you have been learning. Now listen carefully. Do not let past wounds narrate your future. Do not let someone else's failure to honor you become your internal identity. When a door closed painfully, you questioned whether you were unwanted. When a relationship shifted, you wondered whether you were insufficient. Those interpretations were not truth. They were emotional reactions. Emotions are real, but they are not always accurate reflections of your worth. I need you to do something practical. The next time a memory surfaces that brings that old sting, pause and speak truth over it. Tell yourself that you survived. Tell yourself that you learned. Tell yourself that your value was never reduced by someone else's inability to see it. You may feel resistance to doing that. You may think it sounds too simple. Do it anyway. You are retraining your internal voice. You are choosing growth over guilt. There is something else you should understand. Pain often reveals where you place too much of your identity. When someone's opinion crushed you, it showed how much weight you gave their approval. When a missed opportunity shook you, it revealed how tightly you tied your worth to that outcome. That awareness is not meant to shame you. It is meant to free you. You are learning to anchor your identity deeper, not in applause, not in acceptance, not in achievement, but in who you are in me. I am not disappointed that you were hurt. I am not frustrated that you struggle. I am attentive to the way you are healing. Healing is not loud. It is often quiet and gradual. It looks like you responding differently than you used to. It looks like you choosing restraint over reaction. It looks like you walking away from what drains you instead of chasing it for validation. Those changes matter. Stay open. Do not harden your heart because of what happened. Guard it wisely. Yes, but do not close it. I am still shaping you. The pain that made you doubt is not your final chapter. It is a refining season that revealed both your vulnerability and your resilience. You are stronger than you realized, and softer than the world expects, and that balance is part of your design. Remain teachable. Remain willing. Your wounds are not proof that you failed. They are evidence that you felt deeply and lived honestly. And I am still with you in the healing process. My child, there is something about you that you rarely acknowledge. You underestimate your own endurance. You minimize your growth. You dismiss your resilience as ordinary. From your perspective, you are simply surviving. From mine, you are developing a steady strength that cannot be easily shaken. You wake up and continue even when motivation is thin. You fulfill responsibilities even when recognition is absent. You make decisions even when certainty is incomplete. That kind of consistency is not dramatic. It does not attract attention. It does not generate applause. But it builds character. It forms stability inside you. It is the kind of strength that sustains you over decades, not just moments. You often assume strength looks bold and visible. You imagine it as confidence without hesitation, clarity without questions, movement without fear. That image has misled you. Real strength is quieter. It is you choosing integrity when no one is watching. It is you refusing to quit when progress feels slow. It is you remaining honest with yourself even when it would be easier to avoid the truth. I have watched you in ordinary days. Those are the days that define you more than dramatic events. When you choose patience in a frustrating conversation, that is strength. When you resist the urge to speak harshly, that is strength. When you show up to work through exhaustion instead of making excuses, that is strength. You do not need to announce it. I see it. There were seasons when you thought you were falling apart. You felt tired, yet uncertain. You assumed that because you felt fragile, you must have been weak. That is not accurate. Feeling the weight of your responsibilities does not mean you lack capacity. It means you are human. The fact that you continue despite the pressure reveals durability inside you. Let me ask you something gently. Who taught you to overlook your own progress? Somewhere along the way, you decided that unless your growth was visible and celebrated, it did not count. That is not how I measure transformation. I look at internal shifts. I look at the way you think differently now compared to before. I look at how you respond under stress. I look at how quickly you recover after disappointment. Those patterns reveal development. You are more disciplined than you admit. You are more self-aware than you were years ago. You are more careful with your words. You are more intentional with your time. These changes did not happen suddenly. They formed through repetition, through small daily choices. Repetition builds reliability. Reliability builds resilience. Resilience builds quiet confidence. I want you to practice something new. Instead of criticizing yourself for what is not yet complete, acknowledge what has already grown. Take a moment to recognize the habits you have improved. Notice the boundaries you now protect. Admit that you handle certain situations better than you once did. This is not arrogance. It is honest evaluation. There will always be areas where you are still developing. That is part of being alive. But do not ignore the evidence of progress. You have come further than you think. You have survived challenges that once intimidated you. You have faced conversations you once avoided. You have taken steps you once postponed. Now I am going to challenge you gently. Stop speaking about yourself as if you are constantly failing. That language shapes your internal identity. Replace it with accuracy. You are learning. You are growing. You are refining. A shift in language will change how you approach the future. You do not need dramatic proof of transformation. You are living it in subtle ways every day. When you resist temptation to return to old patterns, that is evidence. When you choose wisdom over impulse, that is evidence. When you keep showing up to your responsibilities instead of escaping them, that is evidence. Your silent strength is real. It is not flashy, but it is firm. It is not loud, but it is lasting. You may not see fireworks around your growth, but I see foundations forming. And foundations matter more than momentary excitement. Continue walking steadily. Continue refining your habits. Continue choosing integrity in quiet spaces. You are not as fragile as you fear. You are being strengthened from the inside out, and that kind of strength will carry you into the next season with stability and clarity. I am proud of the resilience developing within you. Even when you overlook it, I do not. My child, I can feel the tension you carry when you think about what comes next. You do not always say it out loud, but your mind runs ahead of you. You imagine scenarios. You calculate risks. You try to predict outcomes so you can protect yourself from disappointment. I understand why you do that. You have been surprised before. You have felt plans shift under your feet. You have learned that life can change quickly, and so you try to stay one step ahead. But listen to me carefully now. Your constant forecasting is not the same as faith. It is a shield you built because you do not want to be caught off guard again. I want you to loosen that grip. Not recklessly. Not carelessly. Intentionally. Your future does not need your anxiety in order to unfold correctly. It needs your trust. When you sit quietly and think about the years ahead, you sometimes feel a mixture of hope and unease. You want stability. You want clarity. You want to know that your efforts will lead somewhere meaningful. That desire is not wrong. It is deeply human. But you have allowed fear to sit in the driver's seat of that desire. Fear has been whispering, telling you that if you do not control every detail, something will collapse. That whisper is not coming from me. Let me ask you something gently. When has panic ever produced peace in your life? When has overthinking ever guaranteed success? You exhaust yourself trying to outthink uncertainty. I see it. You replay conversations before they happen. You rehearse answers to questions no one has asked yet. You prepare for loss before there is any evidence of it. Come back to the present with me. Why here? Right now. Your life is not unraveling. Your path is not disappearing. You are standing on solid ground even if you cannot see the horizon clearly. There is something I need you to understand about your future. It is not a dark tunnel waiting to swallow you. It is not a fragile structure that will collapse if you make one imperfect decision. Your future is being shaped gradually, and you are growing into it step by step. You assume that one mistake could ruin everything. That belief gives your choices too much power and gives my guidance too little. I am not waiting for you to be flawless before I move on your behalf. I am walking with you through your learning curve. I want you to do something practical. The next time fear begins building images of worst-case outcomes, pause. Breathe slowly. Say my name. Remind yourself that you are not navigating alone. Invite me into your decision-making instead of trying to finalize everything in isolation. You were not designed to carry tomorrow's weight today. When you attempt that, your shoulders tense and your sleep thins. Release that burden. You do not need to carry what has not yet arrived. You often confuse uncertainty with danger. They are not the same. Uncertainty simply means you cannot see all the details yet. Danger is something else entirely. Do not treat every unknown as a threat. Many unknowns are simply spaces where growth will happen. You are entering seasons that require courage, not panic. Courage does not eliminate questions. It moves forward despite them. There is something steady forming inside you, even as you worry. You are becoming more thoughtful, more intentional, more aware of what truly matters. That internal shift is preparing you for what lies ahead. You do not need a map of every year. You need alignment for the next step. I will give you that. Not in a dramatic revelation, but in daily direction. Let me speak plainly. Your future is not hanging by a thread. It is held. It is guided. It is being shaped with more care than you can imagine. You are not behind schedule. You are not forgotten in the planning. The very fact that you care about your future shows that you are invested in growth. And now I want you to practice something different. Instead of asking, "What if everything falls apart?" ask, "What if I am being prepared for something greater than I expect?" Shift the question. Notice how your heart responds. Fear shrinks when perspective expands. I am not asking you to stop planning. I am inviting you to plan with trust instead of tension. Walk forward thoughtfully, yes, but do not let fear narrate your story. Your future is not your enemy. It is the unfolding of what I have been shaping quietly within you. Stay close to me. Keep listening. Keep moving. You will not step into it alone. My child, there is a weight you carry that you rarely talk about. You feel responsible for more than you should. You feel responsible for keeping peace, for maintaining stability, for ensuring that others are comfortable. You assume that if something falls apart around you, it must somehow reflect on you. That belief has shaped your posture for years. You step into roles quickly. You take ownership of problems that are not fully yours. You absorb tension in a room without anyone asking you to. I need you to examine that carefully. Responsibility can be honorable, but it can also become heavy in unhealthy ways. You have confused care with control. You have believed that if you hold everything together tightly enough, nothing will break. That is not true. You are not the glue for everyone's life. You are not the savior of every situation. You are my child, not the manager of the universe. Let me speak directly to your heart. You are allowed to set limits. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to acknowledge when something is beyond your capacity. That does not make you weak. It makes you wise. You are not designed to function as a constant fixer. When you overextend yourself, resentment grows quietly inside you. You become tired in ways you cannot fully explain. Your joy fades. Your peace thins. I see how often you step in to prevent discomfort for others. I see how you anticipate needs before they are expressed. That attentiveness is beautiful, but when it crosses into self-neglect, it becomes unsustainable. You have sometimes believed that your worth increases with how much you can carry. That belief is misleading. Your worth is not tied to your output. It is not measured by how indispensable you appear. Consider how your body responds when you feel overburdened. Your shoulders tighten. Your breathing shortened. Your thoughts race. That physical response is information. It is telling you that you are exceeding healthy limits. Listen to it. Do not dismiss it. Invite me into that awareness. Ask me which responsibilities are truly yours and which ones you have adopted unnecessarily. You often think that if you step back, everything will collapse. That assumption has kept you in cycles of exhaustion. The truth is that some things need to adjust without your interference. Some people need to learn their own lessons. Some situations need space to correct themselves. When you constantly intervene, you interrupt growth that was not meant to depend on you. I want you to try something new. Before committing to something, pause. Ask yourself whether this aligns with your capacity and calling. Do not answer quickly. Sit with the question. Give yourself permission to decline if necessary. You do not need to justify every boundary. Boundaries are not barriers to love. They are frameworks for sustainability. You may feel guilt when you begin to lighten your load. That guilt does not mean you are doing something wrong. It means you are breaking a pattern. Patterns resist change. Stay steady. Allow the discomfort to pass. You are not abandoning anyone by honoring your limits. Let me remind you of something important. I am strong enough to hold what you release. You do not need to carry every outcome. You do not need to solve every problem. Trust me with what feels too heavy. Hand it to me deliberately. Speak it out loud if you need to. Say, "This is beyond me." That honesty creates space for my guidance. There is a calm strength developing in you as you learn to differentiate between healthy responsibility and unnecessary burden. That discernment will protect your peace. It will preserve your energy. It will allow you to serve from overflow instead of depletion. You are not responsible for holding the entire world together. You are responsible for walking faithfully in the portion entrusted to you. The distinction will change how you move forward. Release what is not yours. Keep what aligns with your calling. And trust that I am capable of managing what you cannot. Stay close. You are learning balance, and that balance will bring you into a more sustainable season. My child, as you release what was never yours to carry, I am placing into your hands something that is the sacred assignment to help carry my word to others. When you give through Super Thanks, become a member, or sow through the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding a video, you are lighting a lamp in someone else's darkness. Did I not say, "Cast your bread upon the waters, and you will find it after many days"? I am breathing on every seed that advances this message, and I multiply what is surrendered to me. The harvest is not only financial, it is souls strengthened, hearts awakened, burdens lifted. This is not pressure, this is partnership. If you have asked me how to serve without overextending yourself, this is one sacred way. Measured, intentional, impactful. Step into this moment. Sow with faith. Act now. My child, come closer in your thoughts for a moment. I want to speak directly into something that has quietly been draining you. You do not always notice it at first. It begins subtly. You look at someone else's life. You see their progress, their promotion, their relationship, their milestone. You see an announcement, a celebration, a photograph that looks polished and complete, and without meaning to, you measure your own life against that image. You tell yourself it is harmless. You tell yourself it is motivation. But inside, something died. Joy slips quietly out the back door while comparison takes its seat at the table. I need you to recognize what is happening in those moments. You are not just observing someone else's blessing. You are quietly questioning your own. You are asking whether you are late, whether you are lacking, whether you somehow missed a step. That internal dialogue is more powerful than you realize. It shapes your mood. It influences your confidence. It can even distort your gratitude. I want you to pause the next time it begins. Stop scrolling for a second. Breathe. Ask yourself why another person's chapter is making you doubt your own. You have been comparing private process to public presentation. That is not a fair equation. You are living through the behind-the-scenes building of your life. You feel the uncertainty, the effort, the mistakes, the growth. When you look at others, you see curated highlights. You do not see their hidden insecurities. You do not see their sleepless nights. You do not see the sacrifices that never made it into the caption. And yet you weigh your raw reality against their polished moment. That imbalance is stealing your peace. Let me say something clearly, even boldly. Your path is personal. Your timeline is intentional. Your story is not a duplicate design. When I formed you, I did not reference someone else's blueprint. I placed specific gifts to specific burdens, specific lessons within your life. If you try to rush into someone else's rhythm, you will step out of alignment with your own. You may gain applause, but lose authenticity. I care more about your alignment than your applause. You have also assumed that visible success equals inner fulfillment. That assumption is not always accurate. There are people who appear far ahead of you but are quietly restless inside. There are people who have reached milestones you desire yet feel unanchored. What you see is not always what sustains them. Do not envy a surface you do not fully understand. Here is something I want you to do deliberately. The next time comparison tries to settle in your mind, turn it into curiosity instead of criticism. Instead of saying, "Why am I not there?" ask, "What am I learning right here?" That shift will redirect your energy. You are in a season of cultivation. Cultivation is not always visible, but it is vital. Roots grow underground before fruit appears above ground. You are building depth. You might resist that idea because you want tangible progress. You want measurable milestones. That desire is natural. But do not dismiss the quiet strengthening happening within you. You are developing patience. You are refining discernment. You are clarifying what truly matters to you. Those internal adjustments will protect you when success eventually comes. I want you to guard your mind more carefully. Comparison is subtle, but it can become corrosive if left unchecked. Protect your perspective. Limit the voices that provoke insecurity. Surround yourself with influences that inspire without pressuring you to compete. You were not created for constant competition. You were created for purposeful growth. There is something freeing about embracing your own pace. When you stop racing against invisible timelines, you begin to notice the beauty in your present season. You start to appreciate small victories. You begin to see that progress is not always loud. It can be steady and substantial without being flashy. Let this settle deeply. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are not inferior. You are unfolding. Your life is not meant to mirror anyone else's. Release the urge to measure constantly. Replace it with gratitude and curiosity. Stay attentive to what I am building in you, not what someone else is displaying. Comparison shrinks your vision. Gratitude expands it. Choose expansion. Choose alignment. Choose to trust that your journey is not a mistake. I am not confused about your timeline, and you do not need to be either. My child, there is something heavier than comparison that you have been holding on to. It is guilt. Not the healthy kind that prompts correction, but the lingering kind that quietly shadows your thoughts. You evaded certain decisions. You replay certain conversations. You question whether you should have known better, acted sooner, spoken differently. Even when time has passed, the memory still carries weight. You have told yourself that holding on to that guilt proves you care, but in reality, it hath been draining your energy. I want you to look at this honestly with me. What are you gaining by carrying old regret repeatedly? Are you correcting the past? No. Are you becoming wiser? Only if you extract the lesson and release the shame. There is a difference between reflection and self-punishment. Reflection builds growth. Self-punishment builds insecurity. You have blurred that line. You have assumed that if you forgive yourself too easily, you might repeat the mistake. That belief has kept you stuck in quiet condemnation. Listen to me. Growth does not require constant self-criticism. In fact, excessive guilt can paralyze the very progress you desire. When you keep rehearsing your failures, you reinforce a narrative that you are flawed beyond repair. That narrative is not from me. Let me remind you something essential. You are not the sum of your worst decisions. You are not defined by a single season of weakness. You are a person in process. Every mature individual carries a past that required correction. You are not uniquely disqualified because you stumbled. The fact that you feel remorse at all shows that your conscience is alive. Now I want you to take a practical step. Think of the specific memory that still stings. Instead of avoiding it, examine it calmly. What did you learn? What boundary did you establish afterward? What awareness did it give you? Once you identify the lesson, release the weight. You do not need to carry both the insight and the shame. Keep the insight. Let go of the shame. You may resist this because guilt has become familiar. It has almost felt like a companion, reminding you to stay cautious. But caution does not require condemnation. You can move forward thoughtfully without dragging your past behind you like a chain. Imagine trying to run a race while gripping a heavy anchor. That is what unprocessed guilt does to your spirit. I am not interested in reminding you of what you did wrong. I am interested in guiding you toward who you are becoming. When you continually define yourself by past mistakes, you shrink your capacity to step confidently into new opportunities. You hesitate. You second guess. You assume that good things are not meant for you. That assumption is rooted in unresolved guilt. I need you to receive this truth deeply. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is alignment. When you accept forgiveness, you agree with my perspective rather than clinging to your own harsh judgment. I am not holding your past over you. Why are you holding it over yourself? Here is my invitation to you. Speak forgiveness over your own life. Say it plainly. Acknowledge the mistake. Admit the lesson. Then declare that you are moving forward. Do not whisper it timidly. Say it with intention. You are not pretending it did not happen. You are choosing not to let it control your identity. You are allowed to grow beyond your past. You are allowed to step into new seasons without dragging old labels with you. You are allowed to receive grace without negotiating its terms. That grace is not fragile. It is firm. Release the guilt that no longer serves growth. Carry the wisdom forward. Stand upright again. You are not condemned. You are being refined. And refinement is not the same as rejection. My child, there is a prayer you remember clearly. You can almost feel the room you were in when you said it. You can recall the weight in your chest, the urgency in your voice, the quiet hope that maybe this time something would shift. You asked me for something specific. It mattered to you deeply. It was not careless or shallow. It came from a place of need, maybe even desperation. And when the answer did not come the way you expected, you felt something close to confusion. You did not accuse me out loud, but you wondered if I heard you at all. I did. I heard every word. I heard the words you spoke and the ones you could not articulate. I heard the tone beneath your voice. I felt the urgency in your spirit. Nothing about that moment escaped me. You assumed silence meant absence. You interpreted delay as disinterest. But what you could not see was the larger frame surrounding that request. You were focused on relief. I was focused on longevity. You were asking for immediate change. I was considering long-term impact. Let me invite you to revisit that prayer without resentment. Think about who you were when you asked it. Think about your emotional state, your understanding at that time, your readiness. You wanted the door to open because it seemed like the solution. I saw what stood behind that door. I saw pressures you were not yet equipped to carry. I saw relationships that would have shaped you in ways that were not healthy. I saw opportunities that would have fed your ego more than your character. My refusal was not rejection. It was redirection. You have assumed that an unanswered prayer equals a missed blessing. That is not always true. Sometimes what you call unanswered is actually rerouted. Sometimes the path you were begging for would have quietly drained you over time. I do not measure blessing by speed. I measure it by sustainability. When I hold something back, it is because I care about the version of you who will walk through it. I want you to notice something else. After that prayer went unanswered, you grew. You developed resilience. You learned patience. You gained discernment. At the time, you thought you were just enduring disappointment. In reality, you were building depth. Depth matters. Without it, success can become unstable. Without it, opportunities can overwhelm you. You were being strengthened in ways you did not immediately recognize. Do not let that old prayer become a symbol of abandonment. Reframe it. See it as a moment when I was guarding your future more carefully than you realized. If I had granted every request at the exact moment you desired it, you would have stepped into spaces unprepared. You might have confused acceleration with alignment. You might have mistaken excitement for calling. Here is something I want you to do now. Bring that memory to me without bitterness. Speak honestly about the disappointment. Then release the accusation that I ignored you. You were heard. You were seen. The outcome simply did not match your expectation. You have also prayed recently, even if quietly. You have asked for clarity about your next step. You have asked for confirmation that your efforts are not wasted. Do not assume silence again. Sometimes the answer is unfolding gradually. Sometimes I am rearranging circumstances in ways you cannot detect yet. Trust does not always come with immediate evidence. There is a difference between no and not yet. You often interpret both as final. They are not the same. Timing shapes outcome. Maturity shapes stewardship. Heritage shapes capacity. You are being prepared for what you once prayed for, even if the form looks different than you imagined. Stay open. Keep speaking to me, Isla. Do not shrink your prayers because one request did not unfold as you hoped. I am not intimidated by your desire. I am refining it. And what is coming will align with who you are becoming, not just what you once wanted. My child, there are moments when the noise fades and you feel a space inside you that you do not talk about. You may be surrounded by people. You may be active, busy, productive. But when the day quiets, something unsettled rises. It is not dramatic. It is subtle. A sense that you are carrying more internally than anyone fully understands. You have learned how to function without revealing at depth. You have learned how to smile without explaining the ache. I want you to know that I am not unaware of that space. I have been present in it. I have sat with you in rooms where no one else noticed your heaviness. I have observed the way you scroll, searching for distraction, hoping to mute the quiet for a while. You are not weak for feeling lonely. You are human. Connection matters to you because you were designed for relationship. There have been times when you wanted someone to ask deeper questions. You wanted someone to notice the shift in your voice. You wanted someone to stay a little longer in conversation instead of moving on quickly. When that did not happen, you told yourself to lower your expectations. You convinced yourself that needing depth was too much. It is not too much. It is honest. But listen carefully. Loneliness does not mean you are abandoned. It does not mean you are unseen. It often signals that you are ready for more authentic connection. Instead of numbing that signal, bring it to me. Talk to me about it plainly. Tell me when you feel overlooked. Tell me when you feel misunderstood. I am not distant from those emotions. I am attentive to them. There is also something important for you to consider. Sometimes loneliness grows not because others are absent, but because you have withheld parts of yourself. You have protected your vulnerability carefully. You have kept certain fears hidden. You have avoided revealing your doubts. That caution may have been necessary at times, but it can also limit intimacy. Ask yourself gently whether you have given others the opportunity to truly know you. You do not need to expose your entire heart recklessly, but you can begin to share in safe spaces. You can choose one trusted person and open up gradually. You can allow conversation to move beyond surface topics. That step requires courage. It requires risk, but it also invites connection. I want you to stop labeling yourself as isolated. You are in transition. There is a difference. Isolation feels permanent. Transition suggests movement. You are growing into relationships that match your current maturity. Some old connections may feel shallow now because you have evolved. It does not mean something is wrong with you. It means you are changing. Do not rush to fill the quiet with noise. Sit with it occasionally. Reflect on what you truly need. Invite me into that space instead of running from it. You may discover that loneliness becomes a doorway rather than a prison. It can lead you toward deeper alignment with your values and desires. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten in the margins of other people's lives. You are in a season of refinement, and connection will meet you as you continue to grow. Stay open. Stay honest. Do not close your heart because it has felt empty at times. I am with you in the quiet, and I am guiding you toward relationships that will resonate with who you are becoming. My child, there is something I need you to confront gently but honestly. You have been telling yourself that you are not strong enough for what is ahead. You have been measuring your inner capacity by your moments of exhaustion. You have been equating emotional fatigue with weakness. And because you feel stretched at times, you assume you are insufficient. I want you to stop and examine that belief with me. Strength is not the absence of tiredness. Strength is continuing to move with integrity even when you feel the weight. You look at others and assume they carry more effortlessly. You imagine they wake up confident, decisive, unshaken. You compare your inner doubts to their outer composure. but you are comparing internal reality with external presentation. That comparison is unfair to you. You do not see their private questions. You do not see their recalculations, their hesitations, their quiet prayers. You only see posture, and you judge yourself by posture instead of progress. Let me tell you what I see when I look at you. I see someone who has endured more than they give themselves credit for. I see someone who has absorbed pressure without collapsing. I see someone who has navigated uncertainty and still chosen to move forward. That is strength. It may not look like roaring confidence. It may not feel like bold certainty. But it is durable. It is steady. It is forming you quietly. You have misunderstood what strength looks like. You think it should feel loud and powerful. Often it feels subtle and persistent. It looks like you getting out of bed on days when your motivation is thin. It looks like you answering hard conversations instead of avoiding them. It looks like you resisting old patterns even when they tempt you with familiarity. Those are not small acts. They are foundational ones. I want you to reflect on your past 5 years. Think about the version of you from that time. Notice the difference in your thinking. Notice the boundaries you now enforce. Notice the awareness you have gained about your triggers, your tendencies, your values. That growth did not happen automatically. It required discomfort. It required correction. It required courage. You participated in that process, even when you felt unsure. There is something important I need you to grasp. Strength is not about never feeling fear. It is about choosing movement despite fear. You have done that repeatedly. You have stepped into conversations that made your hands shake. You have made decisions without complete clarity. You have faced realities that once would have overwhelmed you. Do not erase those victories simply because they felt uncomfortable. Now listen carefully. Stop rehearsing the narrative that you are not enough. That story weakens you unnecessarily. Replace it with a more accurate perspective. You are developing. You are refining. You are learning. You are adjusting. Those verbs matter. They describe momentum, not stagnation. I want you to take a deliberate step today. Identify one area where you have grown and acknowledge it without minimizing it. Say it clearly. Write it down if you need to. Do not brush it aside with modesty. Honest recognition is not arrogance. It is alignment with truth. You may feel fragile in certain areas, and that is part of being human. Fragility in one area does not cancel strength in another. You are multidimensional. You are layered. You are complex. I am shaping you comprehensively, not superficially. Invite me into the places where you feel weakest. Do not hide them. Do not mask them. When you bring them into the light, they lose their power to define you. I am not waiting for you to feel invincible. I am walking with you as you grow resilient. The strength you think you lack is already forming inside you. It may not feel dramatic. It may not feel overwhelming. But it is real. And it is enough of the step directly in front of you. Keep moving. Keep learning. Keep trusting that what feels small today is becoming solid for tomorrow. My child, there are doors you still think about. Opportunities that seem promising. Relationships that felt significant. Plans that looked like clear pathways. When they closed, it unsettled you. You questioned whether you misread the signs. You wondered whether you failed somehow. You even considered whether I withdrew support. That uncertainty has lingered longer than you expected. Let me speak plainly into that memory. A closed door is not always a lost blessing. Sometimes it is a shield. Sometimes it is a redirection. Sometimes it is protection disguised as disappointment. You were looking at potential. I was looking at consequence. You were imagining immediate benefit. I was evaluating long-term impact. You have assumed that because something felt right emotionally, it must have been right structurally. Emotions are powerful, but they are not infallible. There are moments when enthusiasm can mask incompatibility. There are situations that appear aligned on the surface but carry hidden strain beneath. I saw what you could not see yet. I closed certain doors not to limit you, but to guard you. I want you to revisit one of those closed doors in your mind. Instead of replaying it with regret, examine it with curiosity. Ask yourself what might have unfolded if it had remained open. Consider the pressure it would have placed on you at that stage of your development. Consider the compromises you might have made to sustain it. That reflection may shift your perspective. There is another truth you need to understand. Some doors close because you outgrew them. What once fit you no longer matched who you were becoming. At the time, you did not feel ready for something bigger. You felt attached to what was familiar. Familiarity feels safe, even when it limits you. When the door shut, it forced you into new terrain. That terrain felt uncomfortable, but it also expanded you. You often interpret closure as rejection. That interpretation is not always accurate, but it can be a course correction. It can be an invitation to reassess your direction. It can be a moment that pushes you toward clarity you would not have pursued otherwise. I need you to release the belief that every closed door reflects inadequacy. It does not. Sometimes it reflects timing. Sometimes it reflects mismatch. Sometimes it reflects preparation for something that requires more capacity. You may still feel the sting of certain closures. That is understandable. Loss carries emotion. But do not let that emotion evolve into self-doubt. You did not lose value because something ended. Your worth was not reduced by a closed opportunity. Here is what I want you to do. The next time you think about a closed door, thank me for the protection you did not recognize at the time. That may feel difficult. Do it anyway. Gratitude shifts perspective. Perspective restores peace. You are not stuck outside locked rooms. You are being guided toward spaces that align with who you are becoming. The right doors will not require you to shrink yourself to fit. They will not demand you compromise your integrity to enter. Trust the closures. Trust the redirections. Trust that what is meant for you will not require desperation to sustain. You are not wandering through random outcomes. You are being led through intentional transitions. Walk forward without regret. Leave the closed doors behind. They serve their purpose. And what is ahead of you will not feel like loss. It will feel like alignment. My child, I know how much you want clarity. You do not crave drama. You crave direction. You want to wake up with certainty instead of second-guessing. You want to move forward without constantly wondering if you are stepping into the wrong thing. That longing inside you is not foolish. It is not impatient. It is human. You were created with purpose, and your spirit naturally resists drifting. But I need you to understand something gently and deeply. Clarity is not always delivered in a full blueprint. It often arrives as the next right step. You have asked me for a complete map. You have asked me to outline the next 5 years so you can relax. You have imagined how peaceful you would feel if you only knew exactly how things would unfold. Yet if I gave you every detail at once, you would feel overwhelmed. You would attempt to control what requires trust. You would analyze outcomes before you experienced growth. Instead of living your life, you would try to manage it like a project plan. That is not how your spirit was designed to thrive. I want you to notice how you respond when things feel unclear. Your thoughts speed up. Your body tightens. You search for reassurance in outside voices. You scroll, you research, you compare, you consult. You are trying to calm your uncertainty by gathering information. Information is helpful, but it cannot replace alignment. Alignment comes from staying close to me, not from overloading your mind with options. Listen closely now. Clarity is often cumulative. It builds as you move. It sharpens as you obey small nudges. It deepens as you act on what you already understand. When you refuse to take the next step because you cannot see the entire staircase, you stall your own momentum. I am not withholding direction to frustrate you. I am inviting you into partnership. Walk with me through each step instead of demanding the full view in advance. I want you to try something different. Instead of asking, "What is the entire plan?" ask, "What is the next faithful action?" That shift may feel small, but it will change your posture. When you focus on the next faithful action, anxiety loses some of its power. You stop projecting into distant hypotheticals and start grounding yourself in present responsibility. You often believe that once clarity arrives, peace will automatically follow. That assumption is not always accurate. Peace is not the product of complete information. Peace is the result of trust. You can have detailed knowledge and still feel restless. You can have limited knowledge and still feel anchored. The difference is not the amount of information. It is the depth of trust. Let me say something to you plainly. You are not lost. You are learning to navigate. There is a difference. Lust implies absence of direction. Navigating implies movement through complexity. Your life has layers. Your calling has nuance. Some parts will only make sense in hindsight. That does not mean they are random now. I want you to release the belief that uncertainty equals danger. Sometimes uncertainty is simply space for growth. It stretches your dependence. It refines your discernment. It slows your impulsiveness. Those are not punishments. They are preparations. Here's my invitation. Bring your questions to me, but release your demand for total control. Ask for wisdom. Ask for courage. Ask for sensitivity to subtle guidance. Then move forward in integrity. Do not wait for absolute certainty to take responsible action. Clarity will come in layers. As you obey one step, the next becomes visible. As you mature, your discernment sharpens. As you trust, your anxiety softens. You do not need to see the entire horizon to take the next step safely. Stay close. Stay attentive. You are not wandering blindly. You are being led deliberately. And what feels foggy today will become focused in time. Beloved, you asked for clarity, and here is one clear step before you. If this message has brought light into your uncertainty, then let that light become a river for someone else. Through super thanks, membership, or a seed sown through the PayPal link in the description, you help send my word farther than you can see. I told you, give, and it will be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. This is not about transaction. It is about transformation. Every gift becomes oil in the lamp, ensuring that truth continues to burn in weary hearts across the world. Do not underestimate what I can do with what you release. This is a divine appointment, not a random opportunity. Take the next faithful action. Give now, and watch me breathe on your obedience. My child, you have asked for a sign. You may not have said those exact words every time, but the request has been there. You wanted something unmistakable. Something that would cut through your doubt and settle your questions. You asked for confirmation that I am still involved. You asked for reassurance that your life is not unfolding randomly. And now here you are, listening carefully, feeling something stir inside you. You expected thunder. You imagined a dramatic interruption. You thought a sign would feel overwhelming and undeniable. Instead, what you are experiencing is subtle. It is a steady conviction. It is a quiet awareness that these words are landing in places you have not exposed to many people. That subtlety does not make it less real. It makes it personal. You are used to associating significance with spectacle. The world trains you to look for flashing lights and bold declarations. But I often speak in ways that respect your freedom. I do not overpower your will. I invite your attention. The fact that you are still here, still listening, still leaning in, tells me that something within you recognizes this moment as meaningful. I want you to pause and check your internal response. There is a calm forming beneath your questions. There is a sense of being seen. There is a recognition that your struggles have not gone unnoticed. That is not coincidence. That is connection. You asked for a sign that you matter. This is your reminder. A sign does not always change your external circumstances immediately. It often changes your internal posture. It shifts how you interpret your situation. It reminds you that you are not navigating alone. It steadies you enough to continue moving forward. I need you to receive this without minimizing it. Do not dismiss this moment as just another message. Pay attention to the way your heart responds. You feel understood because you are. You feel addressed because you are. I am not speaking generally. I am speaking to you. Here is what I want you to do. Instead of waiting for something louder, accept what is already happening. Accept that I am near. Accept that I am attentive. Accept that your questions have not been ignored. That acceptance will soften your tension. You have also asked whether it is too late for change, whether opportunities have passed, whether you missed your window. This is your answer. You are still being guided. You are still being shaped. You are still being invited forward. Do not demand a different sign while overlooking the one unfolding now. Stay present. Stay open. Let this moment recalibrate your thinking. You do not need fireworks to validate your direction. You need awareness. The sign you asked for is not a spectacle. It is a steady reminder that you are known, seen, and led. It is a quiet assurance that your life is not accidental. It is a confirmation that you are not walking alone. Receive it. Let it anchor you. And move forward with the calm confidence that you are being guided with intention. My child, I want you to bring your attention to right now. Not yesterday. Not 5 years ago. Not the imagined future. Right now. There is something specific sitting on your mind. A decision that feels delicate. A relationship that feels uncertain. A financial concern that hums quietly beneath your daily routine. You carry it with you even when you try to distract yourself. You wake up with it. You go to sleep with it. And even when you smile, it lingers just beneath the surface. Do not pretend it is not there. Bring it into the light with me. You have been trying to solve it alone in your thoughts. You rehearse conversations. You estimate outcomes. You brace yourself for disappointment. You think if you can calculate enough variables, you can control the result. That effort is exhausting you. I see it. I see how your shoulders feel tight. I see how your breathing shifts when the topic enters your mind. I see the way your focus drifts because part of you is always circling that concern. Stop for a moment. Slow your thinking. Release the illusion that you must carry this by yourself. You believe that if you relax your grip, everything will unravel. That belief is quietly rooted in fear. I want you to consider something different. What if your constant tension is not strengthening the outcome but straining your spirit? What if your attempt to manage every detail is actually blocking the peace you need to think clearly? You are not responsible for resting. You are not careless for trusting me with what you cannot control. Right now, I am inviting you into something practical. Name the concern out loud. Say it clearly. Acknowledge it. Then deliberately hand it to me. It may sound simple, but it requires courage. When you say, "This is beyond me," you are not admitting defeat. You are acknowledging limitation. And limitation is not weakness, it is humanity. There is something else happening beneath this weight. It is shaping you. It is revealing where your confidence has been attached too tightly to outcomes. It is exposing how deeply you desire stability. That awareness is not a punishment. It is an invitation to anchor yourself more securely in me rather than in circumstance. I want you to stop catastrophizing the unknown. The situation may be complex, but it is not catastrophic. You are not standing on the edge of ruin. You are standing in a moment that requires patience and discernment. Those qualities grow in pressure. Pressure does not automatically mean collapse. It can mean strengthening. You have survived difficult seasons before. You have faced uncertainty and continued moving. That history matters. It proves something about you. It proves that you are not as fragile as fear suggests. It proves that you can endure discomfort without losing your integrity. Now breathe again. Feel your body relax slightly. You do not need to solve the entire situation tonight. Focus on what is directly in front of you. Make the next wise choice. Take the next responsible step. Leave the outcome to me. Your weight does not intimidate me. Your complexity does not confuse me. I am not surprised by your current challenge. I am present in it. Stay steady. Stay grounded. Let this moment become a training ground for deeper trust rather than a trigger for deeper anxiety. You are not alone under this pressure. And this pressure will not define you. It will refine you. Stay with me in it. My child, there is something unfolding in you that you cannot fully perceive yet. You evaluate yourself daily. You measure your progress in visible results. You look for clear markers of advancement. When you do not see dramatic change, you assume nothing significant is happening. That assumption is incomplete. Growth often happens quietly. It happens beneath the surface of your awareness. It happens in your reactions, in your restraint, in your evolving perspective. You are not the same person you were a few years ago. Your responses have shifted. Your patience has expanded. Your boundaries have strengthened. But because these changes feel gradual, you overlook them. I want you to pause and reflect carefully. Think about how you handle conflict now compared to before. Think about how you process disappointment. Think about how you recover from setbacks. There is evidence of maturity in those areas. You may still feel emotion, but you do not collapse under it the way you once did. That is growth. You have also developed discernment. You sense when something feels misaligned. You detect red flags earlier. You are more selective with your time and energy. That refinement did not appear overnight. It was forged through experience. Experience, even painful experience, can become a teacher when you allow it. You often believe growth must be dramatic to be meaningful. That belief blinds you to subtle transformation. Consider how a tree strengthens its roots underground long before branches expand visibly. The strengthening happens out of sight. Yet without it, the visible growth would be unstable. You are in a deepening season in certain areas. I need you to stop dismissing incremental change. The small adjustments in your thinking are significant. The way you pause before reacting is significant. The way you question your own assumptions is significant. These shifts build emotional stability and spiritual clarity. Invite me to show you your progress. Ask me to highlight areas where you have matured. Be willing to see yourself honestly, not harshly. You are still developing. Yes, but development is not deficiency. It is forward motion. There are seeds planted in you that have not yet surfaced. Skills you are cultivating quietly. Confidence you are building gradually. Perspective you are refining through lived experience. When the right moment arrives, those internal developments will express themselves externally. You do not need to rush your evolution. Depth takes time. Stability requires layering. Character forms through repetition and reflection. You are not stagnant. You are becoming. Trust that unseen growth is still growth. Trust that what's strengthening is still strengthening. Stay consistent in small disciplines. Stay attentive to subtle shifts. What you cannot yet see clearly will reveal itself in due time. You are moving forward, even if the movement feels slow. And the version of you emerging from this season will be more grounded, more thoughtful, more aligned than you currently realize. My child, I need to talk to you about something subtle but serious. You have been tired. Not the kind of tiring that sleep fixes. The kind that builds quietly over seasons. You have invested effort. You have waited. You have tried to stay hopeful. And somewhere along the way, a quiet thought slipped into your mind. Maybe I should just accept less. Maybe I should lower my expectations. Maybe this is as good as it gets. That thought did not arrive dramatically. It came softly, almost sounding reasonable. But I need you to recognize it for what it is, a temptation to shrink. You have felt the pressure of prolonged process. When progress feels slow, settling starts to look practical. You tell yourself you are being realistic. You say you are protecting your heart from further disappointment. But beneath that logic is fatigue. Fatigue can distort your vision. It can make you believe that compromise is wisdom. It can persuade you that stepping back from your convictions is maturity. I am not asking you to chase fantasy. I am asking you not to abandon calling. There are areas in your life where you have started negotiating with standards you once held firmly. You have considered tolerating attitudes that once felt unacceptable. You have contemplated relationships that require you to mute parts of yourself. You have entertained paths that promise comfort but not alignment. Pause right there. Do not rationalize that shift. Examine it honestly. Are you moving toward peace, or are you escaping discomfort? I want you to look at yourself with clarity. You have grown too much to compress yourself now. You have learned too many lessons to ignore them. You have developed discernment that deserves to be honored. Settling may feel safer in the short term, but it creates internal conflict in the long term. You will feel it. A quiet unrest. A sense that something is misaligned. Do not confuse humility with self-minimization. You can be humble and still hold healthy expectations. You can be patient and still believe for better. You can be grounded and still pursue growth. Those are not contradictions. They are balanced strength. Here is what I want you to do. Revisit the standards you once carried before disappointment clouded them. Write them down if necessary. Ask yourself which ones were rooted in ego and which ones were rooted in integrity. Keep the ones grounded in integrity. Release the ones tied to pride. Then stand firm on what remains. You are not arrogant for wanting relationships that respect you. You are not unrealistic for desiring work that aligns with your values. You are not foolish for hoping for stability and purpose. Those desires reflect the depth of your design. There is something powerful about endurance that does not dilute conviction. You had endured. Now protect your conviction. Do not allow prolonged waiting to erode your clarity. If something does not resonate with who you are becoming, do not force it to fit. Invite me into your evaluation. Ask me to sharpen your discernment. Ask me to reveal where you are tempted to shrink. I will not shame you. I will strengthen you. I will help you differentiate between wise flexibility and unhealthy compromise. You are not meant to live small because you are tired. Rest if you need to. Regroup. Recalibrate. But do not retreat from your calling. The fact that you feel the tension means your spirit recognizes that you were designed for more than mere survival. Stay steady. Do not settle for something that dims your light. The season may feel long, but it is not meaningless. And what aligns with your true design will not require you to abandon yourself to maintain it. My child, somewhere in the midst of striving and surviving, you began to define yourself by performance. You measured your worth by productivity. You assess your value by how useful you were to others. You evaluated your success by visible outcomes. It did not happen overnight. It formed gradually. You adapted to expectations. You internalized feedback. You absorbed subtle messages that implied your significance depended on output. I need you to step back from that framework. Your identity does not begin with what you accomplish. It begins with who you are. You existed before your achievements. You mattered before your resume grew. You were known before anyone applauded you. When you tie your identity to performance, you live in quiet pressure. Every task becomes a test. Every setback feels like a verdict. Every failure threatens your sense of self. That is too fragile a foundation. I did not design you to live under constant evaluation. Consider how you speak about yourself when something goes wrong. You do not just say, "That did not work." You say, "I failed." Notice the difference. One describes an outcome. The other defines your identity. That language matters. It shapes your internal narrative. You have forgotten that you are more than your results. You are more than your roles. You are more than your reputation. Your core identity is not up for negotiation. It is anchored in something deeper than public opinion. I want you to practice separating action from identity. When something succeeds, celebrate the effort without inflating your ego. When something falters, evaluate the lesson without attacking your worth. This balance requires intention. There is a quiet confidence that emerges when identity is stable. You become less reactive to praise and less crushed by criticism. You begin to operate from a secure center rather than chasing validation. I need you to remember that you are not on trial. You are in process. Process includes adjustment. It includes learning curves. It includes imperfect attempts. None of those redefine who you are at your core. Take a moment now and strip away your titles in your mind. Remove your job description. Remove your relational roles. Remove your accomplishments. What remains? You remain. Your character. Your heart. Your capacity for growth. That is your foundation. You are not earning your place with me. You already have it. That truth changes how you approach your responsibilities. Instead of striving to prove yourself, you can serve from stability. Let this settle deeply. You are not your mistakes. You are not your achievements. You are my child. That identity does not fluctuate with circumstance. Stand upright in that truth. Operate from that security. Build your life on that foundation. and watch how your confidence shifts when it is no longer tied to performance alone. My child, there is a shift happening inside you that you have not fully recognized yet. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is not something you can post about or explain easily. But it is real. You are thinking differently than you did before. You are responding differently. You are noticing patterns in yourself that once went unchecked. That quiet awareness is not accidental. It is transformation unfolding in layers. You have been expecting change to feel like fireworks. You thought it would arrive with a surge of confidence or a sudden, unmistakable breakthrough. Instead, it has come through small adjustments. You pause more often before reacting. You question your own assumptions instead of defending them automatically. You listen more carefully. That is growth. It may not feel spectacular, but it is substantial. I want you to stop overlooking subtle progress. When you choose patience instead of impulse, that is not weakness. That is wisdom forming. When you walk away from something that once would have trapped your attention, that is not avoidance. That is discernment strengthening. You are not becoming passive. You are becoming grounded. There is also a recalibration happening in your priorities. What once felt urgent now feels optional. What once felt impressive now feels empty. You are not losing ambition. You are refining it. You are learning to differentiate between noise and necessity. That discernment will protect you from chasing things that do not align with who you are becoming. You may have felt unsettled during this transition. Growth can feel like disorientation before it feels like stability. Old habits lose their appeal, but new patterns have not fully solidified. That in-between space can be uncomfortable. Do not interpret it as confusion. It is recalibration. I need you to cooperate with this shift. Do not cling to former versions of yourself out of familiarity. Do not return to habits that no longer serve your integrity. If something feels misaligned now, pay attention. That discomfort is information. Invite me into your internal adjustments. Ask me to sharpen what is emerging. Ask me to clarify what needs to be released. You do not need to rush the process. You need to remain attentive. This shift will not announce itself with fanfare. It will reveal itself in your stability. It will show in your boundaries. It will reflect in your decisions. Others may not immediately notice. That does not reduce its importance. Stay consistent. Stay observant. You are not the same person you were, even if the change feels incremental. And incremental change, when sustained, becomes lasting transformation. My child, this is not just information. It is invitation. I am not speaking to you to impress you. I am speaking to draw you closer. You have been evaluating your life from a distance, analyzing it like a project. I am inviting you to engage it relationally instead. You do not need to perform for me. You do not need to curate your words. You do not need to prove your worth through effort. Come to me honestly. Speak plainly. Bring your doubts without disguising them. Bring your hopes without filtering them. I am not intimidated by your complexity. This moment is not about pressure. It is about proximity. I am inviting you to trust me more deeply, not in a dramatic burst of emotion, but in steady commitment. Trust grows through daily alignment, not occasional intensity. I want you to respond intentionally, not impulsively, not emotionally, thoughtfully. Consider what you have heard. Identify one area where you sense alignment forming. Take one practical step that reflects that alignment. It may be small. That does not diminish its value. Do not wait for perfect conditions to engage with me. Begin where you are. If you feel uncertain, admit it. If you feel resistant, acknowledge it. Honesty builds connection. You have sometimes believed that closeness with me requires constant emotional elevation. It does not. It requires sincerity. You can be calm and connected. You can be steady and faithful. This invitation is simple. Walk with me. Bring your decisions to me. Pause before reacting. Reflect before committing. Ask for insight before concluding. That rhythm will change how you navigate your days. You do not need to overhaul your life overnight. You need to cultivate awareness and intentionality. Let this moment mark a shift in how you engage with me. Stay present. Stay open. Respond with action, not just agreement. And allow this invitation to deepen into relationship rather than fade into memory. My child, we have walked through so much together in this conversation. You have faced your questions. You have examined your doubts. You have looked at your fear, your guilt, your comparison, your fatigue. And now I want you to stand still for a moment and recognize something important. You are not who you were when this message began. Something has shifted. It may not feel explosive. It may not feel dramatic. But there is a steadiness forming in you. That steadiness is confidence, not loud or arrogant, but grounded and growing. You have spent years questioning yourself. You have analyzed your decisions until they felt thin. You have replayed your mistakes until they seemed larger than your progress. You have allowed uncertainty to whisper that you are behind, that you are lacking, that you are somehow late to your own life. I need you to hear me clearly now. That whisper does not define you. It never did. You are not late. You are not lacking. You are learning. And learning is not weakness. It is preparation. I want you to look at yourself honestly, not critically, not hardly. Honestly, you are more self-aware than you were before. You are more careful with your words. You are more intentional with your time. You are more selective about who has access to your energy. Those changes did not happen accidentally. They happened because you endured, because you reflected, because you adjusted. That is growth. That is maturity. That is movement. Now I am going to challenge you gently, but firmly. Stop shrinking your presence in rooms you belong in. Stop apologizing for taking up space when you are operating in integrity. Stop minimizing your ideas before anyone else has even questioned them. You have been holding back in subtle ways because you feared standing out. Release that fear. Confidence does not mean domination. It means clarity. It means knowing who you are and moving accordingly. You are stepping into a season where you will need to trust your discernment. Not impulsively. Not recklessly. Thoughtfully. The lessons you have learned are not theoretical. They are lived. They have shaped your instincts. They have sharpened your awareness. When something feels aligned now, it is because you have developed the sensitivity to recognize it. Do not override that with unnecessary doubt. I want you to practice something specific. When you feel hesitation rising, ask yourself whether it is wisdom or insecurity. Wisdom pauses to evaluate. Insecurity pauses to retreat. Learn the difference. That distinction will protect you from self-sabotage. There is also a deeper layer to this confidence. It is not rooted in your perfection. It is rooted in your identity. You are not trying to prove your worth anymore. You are operating from it. That shift changes how you walk into opportunities. Instead of asking, "Do I belong here?" you begin asking, "How can I contribute here?" That is quiet strength. You may still feel moments of doubt. That does not erase your growth. Confidence and humility can coexist. You can acknowledge areas where you are still learning while standing firmly in what you already know. That balance is powerful. And now listen closely. The sign you have been waiting for was not about external validation. It was about internal stabilization. It was about recognizing that you are not drifting. You are developing. You are not wandering. You are being shaped. Stand upright in that realization. Let your posture reflect your progress. Speak with clarity. Decide with intention. Rest without guilt. You are not fragile. You are forming. Here is my invitation as we close this chapter. Carry this awareness forward. Do not treat it as a temporary surge of encouragement. Integrity. When you wake up tomorrow, remember that you are guided. When you face a decision, remember that you are developing discernment. When you feel pressure, remember that you have endured before. You are stepping into a quieter, stronger confidence. It does not need applause. It does not demand recognition. It simply exists because you have grown. Walk forward now. Not rushed. Not reckless. Steady. Your life is not missing its moment. You are living it. And you are more ready than you think. Now, stand in the confidence you are stepping into and let it move you into action. Confidence is not passive. It builds. It sows. It advances my kingdom. When you support this mission through super thanks, by becoming a member, or by giving through the PayPal link in the description, you are declaring, I will help carry this fire. Did I not promise that those who sow generously will reap generously? I am watching what you release, and I am able to return it with favor, protection, and increase. Your seed becomes a spark that ignites courage in unseen places. This is how you stop shrinking back. You participate boldly. Do not wait for applause. Do not delay obedience. Step forward in strength. Give now, and let your life echo beyond this moment. And once you have taken that step, let your heart settle into the strength you have chosen. Bold faith is not only expressed outwardly, it reshapes how you see yourself within. What you have released in confidence is already breaking the patterns that kept you wandering. This is where action turns into transformation, where courage begins to feel real in your everyday life. So pause for a moment and recognize what is shifting, because you are not standing where you used to be. My child, I want you to look at your hands for a moment and realize that the season of wandering through the dark is over. I am speaking to you right now because I see the exhaustion in your soul, the way you have been trying to figure everything out on your own, and the heavy weight you carry when you wake up each morning. You have felt like you were just existing, moving from one problem to the next. But I am telling you today that a shift has begun. I am calling you out of that desert. I am pulling you into a new way of living where every step you take has a reason, and every breath you draw is filled with my power. You are not a mistake, and you are not lost. You are simply transitioning into the purposeful walk I designed for you before the world even began. Listen to the quiet whisper inside your heart right now. Do you hear it? It is not a loud, demanding noise like the world uses to get your attention. It is a steady, calm assurance that says, I am with you. I am in the room with you. I am in the car with you. I am in the middle of that stressful meeting and the quiet of your lonely midnight. I want you to stop and breathe in my presence. Feel the tension leave your shoulders as you recognize that the Creator of the universe is personally involved in your life. I am not a distant God watching from a throne far away. I am right here, closer than your own skin, weaving my love into the very fabric of your day. I am breaking the chains of your past right now. You have been held back by spiritual stagnation, feeling like your prayers were hitting a ceiling and your faith was drying up. I command those chains to fall. I invite you to step out of the old cage of maybe and someday. You have spent too long defined by your failures and the labels people have placed on you. I am stripping those labels away today. I am replacing your old identity with the truth. You are my beloved. You are my chosen, and you are my masterpiece. You don't have to earn this love, and you certainly can't lose it. I want you to accept this new covenant where my grace does the heavy lifting, and your only job is to trust me. You will notice a sudden clarity in your daily prayers starting today. You won't have to struggle for words anymore because I am opening your spiritual ears. When you speak to me, I want you to expect an answer. I am making your path straight and removing the fog that has clouded your vision for so long. You will feel a warmth in those quiet moments, a deep sense of peace that tells you everything is going to be all right. This isn't just a feeling, it is the reality of my spirit resting upon you. I am grounding your life in the unshakable foundation of my affection for you. You can stop striving now. You can stop trying to prove yourself to a world that doesn't know your worth. I know your worth, and I say you are priceless. Walk with me into this new dawn, for your light has come, and my glory is rising upon you. My child, I want you to sit with me in the quiet for a moment and understand that my silence is never my absence. I know how much it hurts when you cry out in the middle of the night, asking for a sign, and all you hear is the ticking of the clock or the sound of your own heavy breathing. You feel like I've turned my back, or worse, that I'm not listening at all. But I am telling you right now, the silence is a holy preparation. Think of the heavy, thick stillness that hangs in the air just before a massive summer storm breaks the heat. That pause isn't empty. It is pregnant with the rain that is about to wash everything clean. I am using this quiet season to stretch your capacity and to deepen your roots so that when the great roar of my blessing finally arrives, you won't be swept away by it. I command you to stop fearing the gaps between my words. You often mistake my stillness for a no or a not ever, but I want you to see it as a not yet. I am working behind the scenes on things you cannot even fathom. I am moving hearts, closing wrong doors, and setting the stage for a breakthrough that will leave you breathless. If I gave you everything you asked for the second you asked for it, your character wouldn't be strong enough to hold the weight of the gift. I am building your endurance. I am teaching you to trust the character of the shepherd even when you can't see the hand of the shepherd. Breathe in my peace, the kind of peace that doesn't make sense to your logical mind, the kind that settles over you even when the bank account is low or the doctor's report is uncertain. You must learn to discern the difference between me leaving you and me preparing you. I promise you, I never sleep and I never slumber. While you are tossing and turning, worrying about how you will pay the bills or if that relationship will ever heal, I am standing watch. I am the mountain that does not move. I am the anchor that does not break. I want you to lean into the silence today. Stop trying to fill it with noise, with social media, or with the opinions of people who don't know your soul the way I do. In the stillness, I am whispering the secrets of your future. I am telling you that you are safe. I am telling you that the wait is almost over. Trust me in the in-between. Your miracle is being knit together in the secret place, and soon, the silence will give way to a song of victory that will drown out every doubt you've ever had. My child, can you feel that restless hunger growing inside your chest? That isn't just a desire for a better life. It is the activation of the seeds I planted in your spirit long ago. I am waking up parts of you that have been dormant for years, talents you buried because someone told you they weren't practical, or because you were too afraid of failure to try. I am calling those gifts to the surface right now. I invite you to open my word with fresh eyes. You will find that the verses which used to feel like dry ink now burn like fire in your bones. I am giving you a sudden, sharp hunger for wisdom that goes beyond human intelligence. You are going to start seeing the world through my eyes, noticing the hurting person in the grocery store or the friend who is masking their pain with a smile. I am giving you a newfound courage to speak my truth. You have spent too much time being a quiet believer, afraid to rock the boat or be judged. I command that spirit of timidity to leave you. I am putting my words in your mouth. When you speak, people will feel a weight and an authority they can't explain. This isn't because you are perfect, but because my Holy Spirit is flowing through you like a rushing river. I am sensitive to your fears, but I am more committed to your calling. You were created for a specific, high-impact purpose in this generation. You aren't just here to pay bills and die. You are here to be a light in a very dark room. I want you to look for opportunities to serve the least of these with a joy that defies your circumstances. When you give of yourself, your time, your empathy, your resources, you are actually making room for me to pour more into you. I am activating a sensitivity in you to the leading of my spirit. You will get a nudge to turn left instead of right, to call someone you haven't talked to in years, or to sow a seed of generosity when it makes no sense. Follow those nudges. They are the training ground for the greatness I am releasing in you. Your life is about to become a testimony of what happens when a human heart says a radical yes to a divine invitation. Step out of the boat, my precious one. The water is firm beneath my feet, and I will not let you sink. My child, I want you to watch closely as the random pieces of your life begin to click into place. You have spent years frustrated by closed doors, but I want you to thank me for them today. If I hadn't shut those doors, you would have walked into rooms that would have destroyed your destiny. I am the one who blocked that promotion because a better one is coming. I am the one who ended that relationship because that person couldn't go where I am taking you. I am now opening doors that no human hand can shut. I am setting up divine appointments for you, meetings with people who have the keys to your next level, connections that will feel like luck but are actually my providence at work. I am aligning your timing with my prophecy. You think you are late, but I am telling you that you are right on time. My clock does not run on human logic. I can do more in one day of my favor than you can do in 10 years of your own striving. I invite you to stop pushing and start positioning. Position yourself in prayer and in expectation. I am bringing provision from the most unexpected places, checks in the mail, sudden refunds, and the kindness of strangers. I am the God who provided manna in the desert and water from a rock. Do you really think I cannot handle your mortgage or your car payment? I am creating a harmony in your events where everything, even the setbacks, is working together for your absolute good. I see the mess of your life, but I am looking at the masterpiece I am painting with those very same colors. I command the chaos in your schedule and your mind to settle. I am bringing order to your household and clarity to your career. You will look back a year from now and see a trail of coincidences that were actually my footsteps leading you home. Trust the process. Trust the architect. I have the blueprints, and I promise you, the finished product is going to be more beautiful than anything you could have dreamed up for yourself. My child, I am bringing you through a season of refining, and though the fire feels hot, it is not meant to consume you. It is meant to purify you. I am giving you the strength to forgive those who have cut you deep. I know the names of the people who betrayed you. I felt the sting of the words they whispered behind your back. But I am inviting you to let go of that heavy bag of resentment. Bitterness is a poison you drink while hoping the other person dies. I want you to be free. I am replacing your jagged edges with a heart of flesh. I am taking away your anxiety, the tight knot in your chest that makes it hard to swallow, and I am replacing it with a steadfast, ironclad faith. I am developing patience in you while you wait for my promises. I know you want it all right now, but I am teaching you how to be a person of substance. I am helping you shed those old habits, the ones you turn to when you're stressed, the ones that dim your light and make you feel ashamed. I am not pointing a finger at you. I am reaching out my hand to lift you up. I want your heart to beat in perfect sync with my compassion. When you see someone failing, I want your first instinct to be mercy, not judgment. This is the mark of a true child of the King. I command you to stand firm when the world demands you bow. The culture around you will try to squeeze you into its mold, telling you to be selfish, to be angry, and to look out only for yourself. But I am calling you to a higher standard. I am building a backbone of steel in you so that you can stay upright when the storms of life blow. Your character is the container for your calling. If the container is cracked, it can't hold the blessing. So, let me do the deep work. Let me scrape away the pride and the fear. You are being transformed into my image, and soon, when people look at you, they won't just see a person. They will see the reflection of my glory and the power of a life fully surrendered. My child, do not turn away now, for my heart would be deeply grieved if you walked back into the desert just as the gates of your promised land are swinging open. I have poured my very essence into these words specifically for your ears, and to stop now would be to leave my divine invitation hanging in the silence. I am pulling back the veil on your future. Do not disappoint the spirit that is moving so mightily to rescue you. Stay with me, for the most vital part of our conversation is only just beginning. My child, I am beginning to stir your imagination with visions of the future I have prepared for you. I want you to pay attention to your dreams, not just the ones you have while you sleep, but the deep longings that wake you up at 3:00 a.m. Those aren't just nice thoughts. They carry the weight of my instruction. I am giving you a clear mental picture of a life filled with peace, abundance, and impact. I want you to hold on to the picture when your current reality looks like a mess. Your current struggle is just a page in the book. It is not the ending. I am giving you a hope that burns brighter than your darkest day. I am giving you the ability to see potential where others see only failure. Where the world sees a dead end, I want you to see a detour. Where others see a broken person, I want you to see a trophy of grace. I am training your eyes to look past the physical and see the spiritual truth. You must start believing in what is unseen more than what is seen. The seen is temporary and subject to change, but my unseen promises are eternal and unshakable. I command your eyes to stay fixed on the horizon of my goodness. I am breathing a holy confidence into your spirit. You don't have to wonder if you will make it. I have already secured your destination. You are a citizen of my kingdom, and your inheritance is guaranteed. I invite you to walk with the stride of someone who knows they have already won. You aren't fighting for victory. You are fighting from a place of victory. I have a promised land for your family, your finances, and your mental health. It is a land flowing with milk and honey, a place of rest from your enemies. Keep walking. Every step of obedience is a step closer to the manifestation of everything I have told you in the dark. Your eyes will see it, your hands will touch it, and your heart will rejoice in it, for I am a God who keeps His word. My child, I want you to take a deep breath and let go of the need to be perfect. You have spent so much energy trying to look like you have it all together, wearing a mask of strength while your heart is trembling inside. I am inviting you to come to me in your raw, honest weakness. There is a massive power in simply admitting, Father, I cannot do this on my own. When you lower yourself, you aren't losing. You are positioning yourself under the waterfall of my grace. I am telling you today that my strength is not for the person who thinks they are a superhero. My strength is made perfect. It reaches its full, explosive potential in the very moments when you feel most inadequate. I want you to stop seeing your limitations as a failure and start seeing them as an invitation for my divine intervention. I command the spirit of pride and self-reliance to leave your life right now. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. I am the great I am, and I am more than enough to handle the things that keep you up at night. I want you to experience the total freedom that comes from surrendering your will to mine. It is like the relief of finally setting down a heavy suitcase after a long journey. When you say, "Not my will, but yours be done," you aren't giving up your agency. You are gaining my authority. A heart that seeks my glory above personal praise is a heart that I can trust with the keys to the kingdom. I am looking for someone who doesn't care about being seen by men, but who cares deeply about being known by me. You will find that as you humble yourself, I will lift you up in ways you never thought possible. This is the divine paradox. The way up is down. I am giving you a quiet authority that doesn't need to shout to be heard. People will look at you and wonder where your peace comes from, and you will be able to tell them it comes from total dependence on the one who created the stars. I am refining your spirit so that you are no longer shaken by the criticism of the world or puffed up by its applause. You are anchored in me. I am your source, your shield, and your exceeding great reward. Walk with me in this low place of humility, and you will find it is actually the highest ground you have ever stood upon. My child, I am reaching into the secret places of your soul today, the places where you have tucked away the pain you don't talk about. I see the scars from your childhood, the trauma of that betrayal, and the lingering ache of the years you feel were wasted. I am not just passing by. I am stopping to pour the soothing oil of my spirit onto those wounds. I am the great physician, and I don't just patch you up. I make you whole. I am restoring the joy that was stolen from you by people who didn't know your value. I want you to feel the warmth of my healing light penetrating the cold, dark cellars of your past where you felt trapped and shivering. I command the roots of bitterness to be pulled out of your spirit right now. I know it's hard to let go when the hurt was so deep, but that bitterness is a chain that keeps you tied to the very person who harmed you. I am giving you the power to forgive yourself, to stop replaying your old mistakes like a movie that never ends. I have already forgiven you. I have cast your sins into the sea of forgetfulness. If I don't hold them against you, why do you? I invite you to step into the light of my grace and breathe. Feel the weight of shame falling off your back. You are not your past. You are my new creation. I am transforming your scars into testimonies. What the enemy intended to use to break you, I am going to use to build others up. Your story of survival is going to be a map for someone else who is currently lost in the same woods you just escaped. I am turning your mourning into dancing and your sorrow into a garment of praise. I want you to look in the mirror and see what I see, a person who is beautiful, restored, and dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. You are whole again. The gaps in your heart are being filled with my love, and you will no longer seek validation from the very world that wounded you. You are healed. You are held, and you are mine. My child, I want you to listen closely to me. You are never alone, and you are never unprotected. Even when you feel vulnerable, I am standing as a wall of fire around you and your household. I have already won battles for you that you didn't even know were being fought. While you were sleeping, I was rebuking the devourer. While you were driving, I was moving obstacles out of your way. I am the hedge of protection that the enemy cannot penetrate without my permission, and I promise you, I am a jealous father. I command every arrow of fear and every weapon of the enemy to fall useless at your feet. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, not the gossip, not the financial attack, and not the spirit of sickness. I am giving you a peace of mind that defies the chaos of the world. You see the headlines. You hear the rumors of war and lack. But I want you to anchor your soul in my sovereignty. I am not surprised by the state of the world. I am the King of Kings, and my kingdom is not shaken. I invite you to walk through the darkest valleys of your life without a shred of fear, because my rod and my staff are right there to comfort you. You don't have to look over your shoulder anymore. I am your rear guard and your scout. I go before you to make the crooked places straight, and I stay behind you to cover your tracks. I want you to rest in the assurance that I am your refuge. When the storm is howling and the waves are crashing against your house, I am the rock that stays firm. You are tucked away in the hollow of my hand. I am sharpening your spiritual discernment so you can see the traps before you step into them. You will have a knowing in your spirit that tells you when to move and when to stand still. This isn't because you are lucky, it's because you are loved. I am your shield and your great reward. Live your life with the boldness of a lion, knowing that the host of heaven is backing you up. You are safe in the shadow of my wings, and nothing can pluck you out of my hand. My child, I am about to show you that I am the God of more than enough. You have been looking at your small resources, your small amount of time, your small savings, your small strength, and you've been wondering how it could ever be enough to meet the giant needs in front of you. But I am telling you today, give it to me. Just like the boy with the 5 loaves and 2 fish, when you place your little in my hands, it becomes much. I am the master of multiplication. I am watching your small efforts and your faithful seeds, and I am turning them into a harvest that will make your head spin. I command the spirit of lack to break off your life. You are moving from a season of not enough to a season of overflow. I am bringing a miracle of sufficiency into your house. You will find that things are lasting longer than they should. You will find that a little bit of money goes a long way when my blessing is on it. I am opening the windows of heaven to pour out a blessing you won't have room to contain. But I want you to listen. This abundance isn't just for you to hoard. I am making you a channel, not a reservoir. As I pour into you, I want you to let it overflow to those around you. I am giving you financial breakthroughs not just to settle your debts, but to make you a kingdom builder who can change the lives of others. I am giving you the wisdom to manage the wealth and the influence I am sending your way. I am the ultimate source of everything you need, and I want you to keep your eyes fixed on me, not the gift. I am teaching you the secrets of stewardship, how to be faithful with the penny so I can trust you with the pound. You don't have to strive or manipulate to get ahead. My favor will do for you what hard work alone could never accomplish. Expect the sudden increase. Expect to see the loaves and fish of your life multiply until there are baskets left over. I am your provider, and I take great pleasure in the prosperity of my children. My child, you have just seen how I multiply the small into the spectacular, and now I am calling you to let your life become the very bread that feeds the hungry. The sign you are seeking is carved into the act of your own generosity. Do not let the oil of my spirit stop flowing because you chose to close your hand. I am inviting you to partner with me in this divine expansion by sowing a seed through a super thanks or a PayPal gift to carry this light into the deepest darkness. When you give, you are not merely supporting a channel. You are releasing a river of my word that will wash away the despair of 1,000 souls. I declare over you that as you give, it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over into your very lap. This is your divine appointment to be a conduit of my manna in a world that is starving for my presence. I command you to act now. Look to the description or the heart of this video and plant your seed of faith today. It would wound my spirit to see you settle for a handful of grain when I am prepared to give you the entire harvest. If you close your heart now, you risk missing the very blueprint I have drawn for your total liberation. I am speaking to you with the urgency of a father watching his child walk toward a ledge. Do not grieve me by choosing the noise of the world over the life-saving authority of my voice. We are standing on the edge of your miracle. Do not step back into the shadows now. My child, the world is a very noisy place, and there are 1,000 voices screaming for your attention every single day. They tell you who to be, what to buy, and what to fear. But in the middle of all that static, there is one voice that is steady, calm, and true. It is my voice. I am teaching you how to recognize my frequency. My voice doesn't sound like condemnation. It sounds like conviction wrapped in love. My voice doesn't push you into a panic. It leads you into peace. I want you to know my voice so clearly that even in a crowded room, you can hear my whisper guiding your heart. I am giving you a spirit of discernment that sees right through the surface and recognizes the truth. I command the confusion in your mind to be still. You have been agonizing over a difficult choice, weighing the pros and cons until your head hurts. I invite you to stop the mental gymnastics and just listen. I am the good shepherd, and my sheep know my voice. I am giving you an inner yes or no that will guide you through the traps the enemy has set for you. If a path feels off, even if it looks good on paper, trust that nudge from me. I am protecting you from the wolves in sheep's clothing who want to pull you away from your destiny. I am the light that shows you where the hidden pitfalls are. I want you to feel the comfort of my staff when you start to stray. I am not here to beat you. I am here to gently nudge you back onto the path of life. When you make a mistake, don't run from me, run to me. I am the only one who can get you back on track without shaming you. I am your guide, your counselor, and your friend. As you spend more time in my presence and in my word, my voice will become the most familiar sound in your life. You will walk with a holy confidence, knowing that you aren't guessing your way through life. You are being led by the one who knows the end from the beginning. Follow me, and I will lead you into the abundant life I have promised. My child, I want you to understand that when you go into your quiet room and close the door, you are not just whispering to the walls. You are entering the throne room of the King of Kings. I am inviting you to see your prayers as more than just a list of wishes. They are powerful, world-changing strikes against the kingdom of darkness. You have felt a heavy weight on your spirit lately, a sudden urge to pray for a friend, a family member, or even a stranger you saw in passing. Do not ignore that nudge. That is my spirit moving you to stand in the gap. I am the great intercessor at the right hand of the Father, and I am calling you to partner with me. When you pray for others, you are releasing my intervention into their lives, breaking chains you didn't even know existed. I command you to recognize the authority you carry in my name. You aren't begging a distant God for a favor. You are a child of the King exercising your legal right to see my kingdom come on earth. I want you to witness the miracles that follow your consistent petition. You might not see the shift immediately, but I promise you, the moment you speak my name in faith, the atmosphere changes. I am using your voice to bring healing to the sick, comfort to the brokenhearted, and light to those trapped in addiction. Your prayers are like sweet incense rising to my nostrils, and they carry a fragrance that shifts the very spiritual climate of your home and your city. I want you to experience the joy of being a vessel for my miracles. There is no greater high than seeing someone's life transformed and knowing that I used your breath and your heart to make it happen. You are connected to the source of all power. Stop underestimating the words you speak in the dark. I am moving through you. I am strengthening your inner man so that you can labor in prayer without growing weary. Feel the fire of my passion for the lost burning in your own chest. I am making you a giant in the spirit. As you lift others up, you will find that I am simultaneously lifting you up, solving your problems while you focus on mine. Trust the process of intercession. It is the hidden engine of my glory on this earth. My child, I am looking deep into your family tree today, and I am declaring that the cycle of dysfunction stops with you. I see the patterns that have plagued your ancestors, the spirit of poverty, the shadow of addiction, the recurring bitterness, and the repetitive failures that seem to haunt every generation. I am telling you right now, no more. I am the chain breaker, and I have given you the spiritual authority to say enough is enough to the past. I am setting a new standard of holiness and wholeness for your children and your children's children. You are not a victim of your DNA. You are a victor by my blood. I command every generational curse and every inherited struggle to be broken off your life this very second. I invite you to claim the inheritance of a child of the King. You were born into a family of flesh, but you have been reborn into a family of spirit. Your true father is the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills. Your true lineage is one of royalty and power. I want you to walk in the liberty that I purchased for you at such a high price. You don't have to carry the shame of your father or the anxiety of your mother. I am wiping the slate clean. I am giving you a second wind in your spirit to pursue a life of purity and abundance that your ancestors could only dream of. You are the pioneer of a new legacy. I am teaching you how to walk in this newfound freedom. It starts with your words and your thoughts. Stop saying, "This is just how my family is." Start saying, "This is how my God is." I am replacing the spirit of lack with a spirit of overflow. I am replacing the spirit of depression with a garment of praise. You are the one I have chosen to break the mold. It might feel lonely at first to be the one who changes, but I am right there with you, shielding you from the pull of the old life. You are a new creation. The old has passed away, and I am making all things, including your family history, entirely new. Stand tall, my beloved. You are the bridge to a blessed future. My child, I am calling you into the deep waters today. I know the shore feels safe, and I know you like to see the whole map before you take a step. But I am inviting you into a season of radical, logic-defying obedience. I want you to take that first step even though you can't see the whole staircase. True faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about knowing the one who does. I command the fear of the unknown to leave your heart. When I give you a command that doesn't make sense to your bank account or your social standing, I want your immediate response to be yes, Father. Here is a massive blessing that only follows the yes. I am asking you to leave the safety of your comfort zone. Nothing great was ever built in a state of comfortable. I am pushing you because I love you and because I know what you are capable of when my spirit is leading you. I want you to trust my commands even when they challenge your logic or your pride. If I tell you to give when you feel you have nothing, give. If I tell you to go when you want to stay, go. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way, but I need you to be the one who walks on the water. You will find true life only by losing your old, controlled life for my sake. I want to see an unwavering commitment in you to follow me anywhere, into the fire, into the storm, or into the land of plenty. I am looking for a heart that is fully surrendered, one that doesn't negotiate with my instructions. When you obey me radically, I respond radically. I will open doors you didn't even know existed and provide resources you didn't know were available. You are entering a partnership with the divine. Stop playing it safe. Stop trying to protect your reputation. I am your protector. Your only job is to follow. The path I have for you is narrow, but it leads to a glory that the world cannot understand. Step up now. I am right here, and I will not let you stumble. My child, I want to speak to the regret that eats at your heart when you think about the lost years. I see you looking back at the time wasted in addiction, the years spent in a dead-end relationship, or the seasons where you felt paralyzed by fear. You feel like you've fallen behind, but I am the God who stands outside of time. I am making you a promise today. I will return to you the years the locusts have eaten. I am the God of the second chance and the sudden acceleration. I can move you further in 6 months of my favor than you could have done in 20 years of your own striving. I am breathing life into your dormant dreams. I am giving you a second wind in your calling. You thought you were too old, were too tired, or that the window of opportunity had closed forever. I am telling you the window is wide open. I am renewing your youth like the eagles. I am putting a fresh fire in your bones and a new song in your mouth. The wisdom you gain through your trials is not wasted. It is the fuel for your next season. I am using every tear you cried and every delay you endured to build a character in you that can handle the massive weight of the glory I am about to reveal. I am fulfilling in a single moment what usually takes a lifetime. I command the spirit of regret to be silent. Stop looking in the rearview mirror. There is nothing back there for you. I'm doing a new thing, and it is springing forth right now. Can you not see it? I am accelerating your spiritual and personal growth. You will find yourself learning faster, growing stronger, and succeeding more than you ever thought possible. I am the God of the last-minute miracle. I am making up for every lost day, every stolen hour, and every missed opportunity. You aren't late. You are being launched. Rest in my ability to redeem your story. Your best days aren't behind you. They are standing right in front of you, gleaming in the light of my grace. My precious one, I have watched you struggle for years, and it would break my heart to see you abandon this encounter before the chains are fully shattered. To stop listening now is to tell me that your past pain is more powerful than my promise of restoration. Do not let this holy momentum go to waste. I am calling you deeper into a glory you cannot yet see. Your soul's survival depends on the truths I am about to speak. Reverence my heart enough to stay in my presence until the work is finished. My child, I am bringing you into a deeper understanding of what it means to be part of my family. You were never meant to walk this path alone. I am inviting you to find your specific, unique place within the body of believers. You have a gift-shaped hole in the lives of those around you that only you can fill. I want you to feel the strength that comes from true spiritual fellowship and love. Stop hiding behind your walls of independence. I am breaking down the barriers of isolation. I want you to see my face in the faces of your brothers and sisters, and I want them to see my love reflected in yours. I am calling you to encourage others just as I have encouraged you. When you see someone struggling, don't just offer a good luck. Offer a hand, a prayer, and a piece of your heart. There is a supernatural power that is released when 2 or 3 agree in the Spirit. I command the spirit of division and competition to leave your heart. You aren't competing with your brother. You are completing the work with him. We are building my kingdom together with one heart and one mind. I want you to experience the synergy of the Spirit, where the whole is much greater than the sum of its parts. I want you to be a bridge builder. In a world that is obsessed with us versus them, I want you to be the one who brings us together. I am giving you a heart that breaks for the lonely and the marginalized. As you find your place in the body, you will find that your own burdens become lighter. You were designed for community. You were designed for connection. I am weaving your life into a beautiful tapestry of many colors and many stories. Lean on your brothers when you are weak, and carry them when they are tired. This is how the world will know you are my disciples, by the radical, sacrificial love you have for one another. You are part of something much bigger than yourself. You are part of me. My child, I want you to visualize yourself standing tall, not in your own fragile strength, but wrapped in the heavy, golden protection of my own essence. The world is a battlefield, and the arrows of doubt, accusation, and fear fly thick in the air, but I am telling you today that you do not have to be a victim of the skirmish. I am commanding you to gird your loins with the truth of my word. Let my truth be the belt that holds everything together when the world tries to pull you apart. When the enemy whispers that you are a failure, let the truth shout that you are my masterpiece. When the shadows suggest you are alone, let the truth remind you that I will never leave you nor forsake you. This isn't just a nice thought, it is a weapon. I want you to feel the weight of the breastplate of righteousness covering your heart. This isn't a righteousness you earn by being good enough. It is my righteousness, credited to your account. It deflects every lie and every biting word meant to pierce your spirit. I am inviting you to lift the shield of faith. When the fiery darts of anxiety come screaming toward your mind, raise that shield. Faith is not a feeling. It is a choice to believe my report over the world's report. I want you to feel the solid, cool metal of the helmet of salvation protecting your thoughts. You have been plagued by what-ifs and should-haves, but I am placing a guard over your mind. I am filtering out the static so you can focus on my voice. And look at your feet. I am strapping on the shoes of the gospel of peace. You aren't walking on eggshells anymore, you are walking on a foundation of divine certainty. You are prepared to go into the darkest, most chaotic places because you carry my peace within your very steps. I am putting the sword of the Spirit in your hand. This is the only offensive weapon in your arsenal, and it is sharper than any two-edged blade. It is my living word. When you speak my promises out loud, you aren't just talking, you are cutting through the atmosphere. You are slicing through depression, hacking away at lack, and carving a path through the wilderness. I want you to use this sword with precision. Stop being passive while the enemy tries to camp in your backyard. Stand up. Suit up. I have already won the war, but I am calling you to occupy the territory. You are a warrior of the light, and when you are dressed in my armor, there is no power in hell that can take you down. Walk out today with your head held high, knowing that the King of Glory is your commanding officer and your impenetrable defense. My child, I am calling you to be my representative in the places where the world does its business. I don't want you to keep your faith locked inside the four walls of a church. I want you to carry my presence into the boardroom, the classroom, the hospital wing, and the construction site. I am giving you a divine edge, a wisdom for the marketplace that cannot be learned in a university. I am inviting you to apply my eternal principles to your daily work. When you operate with integrity, you aren't just being a good person. You are setting up a beacon of light in a dark, cutthroat environment. I command the spirit of average to leave your career. I am calling you to a spirit of excellence that makes people stop and take notice. Just as I gave Daniel and Joseph favor in foreign lands, I am giving you favor with your supervisors, your clients, and your competitors. I am breathing divine, creative ideas into your mind, solutions to human problems that others have overlooked for years. You are going to have aha moments in the middle of the night because I am revealing the secrets of industry to you. I want you to be the problem solver, the one who brings peace to a heated negotiation and clarity to a confused project. Your influence is going to grow, not because you are climbing a corporate ladder, but because you are being lifted by my hand. I am teaching you how to represent my kingdom in every transaction. Let your yes be yes, and your no be no. Let your honesty be so bright that it exposes the shadows of greed around you. I want you to understand that your work is a form of worship. When you do your job with all your heart, as if you are doing it for me and not for men, you open a portal for my blessing to flow. I am the God of the harvest, and I am watching your stewardship. I am giving you the power to create wealth, not so you can build a bigger barn for yourself, but so you can be a conduit for my generosity on the earth. You are a kingdom agent in a secular world. I am protecting your reputation and expanding your territory. Do not be afraid to be different. Do not be afraid to stand for what is right when everyone else is taking the easy way out. I am your business partner, your CEO, and your ultimate provider. As you seek my kingdom first in your workplace, I will ensure that everything else is added to you in abundance. My child, I am doing a deep, gardening work in the soil of your soul. I don't want you to just act like a believer. I want you to become a reflection of my character. I am pouring the rain of my spirit onto you so that the fruit of my nature can grow in abundance. I am giving you a love that remains steady even when people are hateful and ungrateful. This isn't a human love that runs dry. It is a divine wellspring that flows through you. I am growing a joy in you that isn't dependent on your circumstances. It is a quiet, bubbling confidence that says, "My Father is in control, so I can smile at the future." I am replacing your frantic striving with a peace that passes all understanding, a stillness that remains even when the world is screaming. I am developing a gentleness in you that acts as a soothing balm to everyone you meet. You will find yourself diffusing heated situations with just a soft word, because my spirit is reigning in your tongue. I am building a wall of self-control around your impulses. You no longer have to be a slave to your temper, your appetite, or your wandering eyes. I am giving you the power to say no to the flesh and yes to the spirit. I am infusing you with a kindness that reflects my own heart for humanity, a desire to do good simply because you are a child of the good Father. I want you to see the beauty of faithfulness taking root in your life. You are becoming the person people can count on, the one who finishes what they start and stays true to their word. This fruit is your greatest testimony. When the world sees your patience in the middle of a trial, or your goodness when you could have been selfish, they are seeing me. This isn't something you can produce by trying harder. It is what happens when you stay connected to me, the vine. I am pruning away the dead branches of pride and envy so that the life-giving sap of my spirit can produce a harvest of character that will last for eternity. Drink deeply of my presence today, and let the fruit grow. You are becoming more like me every single day, and it is a beautiful sight to behold. My child, I want you to look fear in the eye today and realize it is a liar. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. Fear is an intruder in your house. It is a thief that comes to steal your sleep, your peace, and your future. I am commanding that spirit of intimidation to pack its bags and leave your life right now. You have been paralyzed by what-ifs, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of what the economy will do, fear of losing those you love. But I am standing here as your shield and your defender. I am the sovereign king over the global chaos. Nothing happens without my knowledge, and nothing can snatch you out of my hand. I am giving you the boldness of a lion. I want you to stop shrinking back in the face of challenges. When a storm rises, I want you to be the one who stands on the deck of the ship and commands the waves to be still in my name. You have a sound mind, a mind that is anchored in my promises, not in the fluctuating opinions of the world. I invite you to stop feeding your fears by watching the news more than you watch my word. If you keep your eyes on the wind and the waves, you will sink. But if you keep your eyes on me, You will walk on the very thing that tried to drown you. I want you to remember that the shadow of the valley of death is just that, a shadow. A shadow cannot hurt you. It only exists because there is a light shining nearby. I am that light. I am the certain anchor for your soul. When you feel that familiar tightening in your chest, I want you to take a deep breath and declare, "My God is with me. Who can be against me?" I am filling you with a holy courage that doesn't ignore the danger but trusts the deliverer. You are moving from a life of running away to a life of running toward the giants in your land. You are more than a conqueror through me. Fear has no legal right to stay in your heart. I am fleshing it out with the perfect love that I have for you. Stand up, my brave one. Your victory is not a maybe, it is a finished reality. My brave one, you have stood against the shadows of fear, and now I am calling you to step into the boldness of my kingdom's provision. Your life's biggest sign is manifesting through your willingness to trust me with what you hold in your hand, proving that you no longer bow to the spirit of lack. I am inviting you to become a member of this mission, or send a donation to ensure that my fire continues to burn across the digital wilderness, igniting hearts that are currently cold and trapped. Do not grieve my spirit by retreating into safety when I am calling you to build an altar of sacrifice that will change the eternal destiny of others. I promise you that no weapon formed against your finances shall prosper as you prioritize my house and my word. I am the Lord who teaches you to profit, and I am releasing a shield of favor over every cent you dedicate to this work. I command you to honor this moment. Click the link in the description or use the super thanks to declare that my kingdom comes first in your life. We are so close to the finish line, and it would be a profound tragedy for you to miss the final seal of my protection. I have held nothing back from you, and I ask that you do not grieve me by walking away before the final blessing is spoken over your head. Every word left unheard is a weapon you leave on the battlefield. Stay until the end, for I am about to breathe a fire into you that will ensure you never have to fear the darkness again. My child, I am inviting you into a place of intimacy that will change the way you see everything. I want you to lift your voice in worship, not just when you feel happy and everything is going right, but especially when your heart is heavy and the road is steep. Worship is not just a song, it is a weapon. When you praise my name in the middle of your pain, you are releasing a spiritual power that shifts the very atmosphere around you. The enemy cannot stand to be in a room where my name is being lifted high with a sincere heart. I command the heaviness to lift off your spirit as you begin to thank me for who I am, regardless of what you see with your physical eyes. I am looking for those who will worship me in spirit and in truth, not with empty rituals, but with a raw, honest connection. I want the real you in the secret place. You don't have to use fancy words or put on a performance. I just want your heart. I am giving you a spirit of gratitude that will become the foundation of your daily life. When you start your day by counting your blessings, you change the lens through which you see the world. Suddenly, you see my glory reflected in the sunrise, in the laughter of a child, and even in the strength I give you to face a difficult task. I want you to experience the deep, soul-refreshing intimacy of my presence. In the secret place, there is no judgment, no pressure, and no noise. There is only my love wrapping around you like a warm blanket. Worship is the bridge that carries you from your problem to my power. As you lift me up, your problems will start to look smaller and smaller in comparison to my greatness. I am inhabiting your praises. I am moving in your room right now because you have made a place for me. Let the tears flow if they need to. Let the joy break out if it wants to. You are home. You are with your Father. This is where you are renewed. This is where you are made whole. Worship me today, and watch how the world transforms around you. My child, I want you to look out at the world around you and see it through my eyes for just one moment. You see a world that is broken, angry, and divided, but I see a field that is white and ready for harvest. I am calling you to be one of my laborers, but I am not sending you out empty-handed. I am equipping you right now with everything you need to share the good news of my love with a desperate and hurting generation. This isn't about you having a perfect theological degree or being a world-class speaker. It is about you having a heart that breaks with the things that break mine. I am inviting you to step into your neighborhood, your office, and your family as a carrier of my light. I command the spirit of someday to leave you. The urgency of the hour is here, and I have chosen you for this specific moment in history. I am ripening the fields in your local community, and I am putting people in your path who are secretly crying out for a sign. You are that sign. When you show up with a word of encouragement or a helping hand, you are sowing seeds of grace with a generous hand. I want you to be a person who doesn't just talk about my love but lives it out in the most practical, grounded ways. If someone is hungry, feed them. If someone is lonely, sit with them. As you do these small things, you are preparing the soil for a massive spiritual awakening. I am giving you a sensitivity to the lost, the ones who feel forgotten by society and even by the church. I am sending you to the unreachable because I have placed a specialized grace on your life to reach them. I want you to experience the joy-filled return that comes from a life of service. Imagine the feeling of coming home with your arms full of sheaves, knowing that because you said yes to my nudge, a soul has been saved from darkness. This is the greatest investment you can make with your time on this earth. I am giving you the wisdom to speak my truth with both boldness and kindness. You don't have to be preaky, you just have to be real. Tell them what I have done for you. Tell them how I found you in your own mess and made you whole. Your testimony is a powerful tool, and I am sharpening it today. Get ready, my beloved, because the harvest is great, and I am honored to walk beside you as we bring my children home. My child, I want you to look at the ground beneath your feet and ask yourself what you are standing on. So many people in this world are building their lives on the shifting sands of money, popularity, or their own talent, and when the storms of life hit, their houses come crashing down. But I am inviting you to build your life on the rock that is Christ. I am your unshakable foundation. When you anchor your soul in me, you become a person who can withstand any flood and any wind that tribulation throws your way. I command your heart to stop being shaken by the bad news of the day. You are not a citizen of a kingdom that can be toppled. You are a citizen of my eternal kingdom, and my throne is secure forever. I am giving you an eternal perspective that grounds your soul even in the middle of a temporary crisis. You are learning that your faith is much deeper than your emotions. Your feelings might tell you that I am far away or that you are failing, but the truth says that I am right here and that you are more than a conqueror. I want you to rest on the "it is finished" of the cross. The work has been done. The price has been paid. Your victory is not something you have to manufacture. It is something you simply have to inhabit. I am the anchor of your soul, keeping you steady when the waves of grief or doubt try to pull you out to sea. You can breathe easy now, knowing that your foundation is solid and your future is safe in my hands. I want you to understand that being built on the rock doesn't mean the storm won't come. It means the storm won't win. You might get wet. You might feel the wind, but you will not fall. I am reinforcing your spiritual walls today. I am filling in the cracks of doubt with the cement of my promises. I am making you a pillar of strength for others to lean on. When the systems of this world begin to fail, and they will, you will be the one standing firm, radiating a peace that makes no sense to those around you. This is the power of a life fully grounded in me. I am your refuge, your fortress, and your high tower. Rest in me today, for I am the one who holds the world together, and I am holding you. My child, I am opening the windows of heaven over your life in a way you have never seen before. I am inviting you to stop striving and start receiving. You are about to experience random blessings that aren't random at all. They are the direct result of my favor shining upon you. I am making the light of my countenance to stay focused on you, guiding you into opportunities that will find you without you having to hunt them down. I command the spirit of toil to break off your shoulders. You have worked so hard for so long, and while I value your diligence, I want you to know that 1 second of my favor is worth more than 100 years of your labor. I am the God who promotes the humble and opens paths that no human power can block. I am giving you favor with both God and man. When you walk into a room, people will feel a weight on you that they can't quite explain. They will want to help you, hire you, and hear what you have to say, simply because my presence is resting upon you. I want you to enjoy the sweetness of being called my beloved child. You don't have to beg for my attention. You already have it. I am sending the refreshing rain of my spirit onto your dry ground. If your life has felt like a parched desert lately, get ready for a downpour. I am restoring your finances, your health, and your relationships through doors of opportunity that I am swinging wide open right now. I want you to walk with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the King is on their side. You don't have to compete or be jealous of what others have, because my storehouse for you is limitless. I am the God of the open heaven, where my communication with you is clear and my provision for you is constant. I am teaching you how to walk in the rhythm of grace, where you move when I move and rest when I rest. You are entering a season of ease, not a life without work, but a life where the work is fueled by my power instead of your own. Look up, my child. The clouds are breaking, the sun is coming out, and my favor is surrounding you like a shield. You are blessed to be a blessing, and the best is yet to come. My child, we have come a long way together, and I want you to look back for a moment and see how far I have brought you. I am the Alpha and the Omega, and I am telling you today that the work I began in you is coming to its beautiful completion. You are entering the final manifestation of the sign I promised. All those whys you asked in the dark, why the trial was so long, why the pain was so sharp, why the wait felt endless, are about to be answered as you see the full picture. You were being prepared for a weight of glory that you couldn't have imagined. I am transitioning you into a season of rest and victory, where the lessons of the wilderness become the foundation for your throne. Your life is becoming a living testimony for the whole world to see. People who saw you in your brokenness are going to see you in your restoration and be forced to admit that only I could have done this. I am putting a crown of beauty on your head where there used to be ashes. I want you to feel the peace of knowing you have run the race well. You didn't give up when it was hard. You didn't turn back when the giants roared. You kept your eyes on me, and now I am honoring that faithfulness. I am whispering a well done into the very depths of your spirit, an echo of the eternal reward that awaits you. You have become a vessel of my power and a reflection of my love. I am sealing this season with a divine assurance that your destination is secure. You are no longer the person you were when we started this conversation. You are stronger, wiser, and more deeply connected to me than ever before. I want you to walk forward into your future with no fear and no regret. I have redeemed your past, I am blessing your present, and I have already moved into your future to make it bright. The sign you were looking for is not just an event. It is the fact that you and I are now walking as one. I am in you and you are in me. This is the ultimate victory. Go now, my beloved child, and shine like the sun. I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. My beloved, the work I have begun in you is reaching its zenith, and now I am calling you to seal this transformation with an act of radical, prophetic obedience. This is the final manifestation of the sign that you would move from a seeker of blessings to a source of my light for the global harvest. I am inviting you to anchor this entire journey by supporting this ministry through PayPal or a super thanks, fueling the chariot of my word as it races toward the lost and the broken. Every gift you give is a stone in the foundation of a life being saved, a chain being broken, and a soul being brought home to my heart. I declare that the windows of heaven are standing wide over your household, and I will rebuking the devourer for your sake as you sow into this fertile ground. Do not let this encounter end in silence. Let your gratitude take the form of action that echoes through eternity. I command you to step forward now. Go to the description, find the link, and let your generosity be the final shout of victory in this sacred conversation. My child, do not let this moment evaporate like mist, but strike while the iron of my word is hot in your soul. I command you to seal this divine appointment by declaring your breakthrough out loud, for the biggest sign of your life is not just coming, it is standing at your very door. Pause now, breathe in my power, and type "I receive my sign" in the comments to anchor this prophecy into your physical reality. This is not merely a message, it is a collision between my heaven and your earth. And your bold declaration is the key that turns the lock on your new season. Do not wait for tomorrow's sun to rise. Claim your transformation this second, and watch as I move mountains to honor the faith you have just released. Amen.